the Legion of Boom. The name itself strikes fear into the heart of offenses. From 2011 to 2017, this unit redefined what defense meant. With future Hall of Famers like Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas, and Cam Chancellor, the Seahawks were a powerhouse in the NFC, culminating in a Super Bowl 48 title. The following year, the Seahawks made it back to the Super Bowl, but came up 1 yard short.
Intercepted at the goal line by Malcolm Butler. Unreal.
Following their defeat in Super Bowl 49, the unit began to fall apart. Defensive coordinator Dan Quinn left the team to become the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. I'm sure that worked out well for him.
Toss to White. He's in! Patriots win the Super Bowl!
In Week 10 of the 2017 season, Chancellor suffered a neck injury that he would never return from. His career ended at just 29 years old. Sherman was released at the end of the 2017 season. He went on to play 3 seasons for the division rival 49ers before retiring after the 2021 season. Sherman was only 33 when he retired. Thomas remained with the team through the 2018 season, where he suffered a season-ending injury in Week 4. As he was being carted off the field, Thomas infamously gave his own sideline the finger, showing how soured the relationship between him and the organization had become. Thomas played the next season with the Baltimore Ravens and retired after the season at 30 years old. But what if it didn't happen that way? What if this unit stayed together? What if the injuries didn't end these Hall of Fame careers too early? And what if the Legion of Boom played together until they retired? This season on Madden NFL What If, we're going back to Madden 15, the game that featured the Legion of Boom on the cover. We'll see just how dominant this team would be without the injuries, and if they could bring more than just one Super Bowl title to Seattle. This is Madden NFL What If, Legion of Boom. Hello there, sports gamers. Welcome on back into SGO Gridiron. I'm Brandon Satterwhite, and today we are starting a new series here on the channel called Madden NFL What If, the Legion of Boom. I'm really excited about this series. So basically what we're doing is we're going back to Madden 15, and we're going to replay the Legion of Boom's careers and see what would happen if they had never gotten injured. You know, like I said in the intro, Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas, Cam Chancellor, they all got injured. Their careers ended kind of early. And that unit didn't really get to stick together as much as we would have liked, and they only got the one Super Bowl. So we're going to try and replay it and see if we can do a little bit better here. So this game picks up in the 2014 NFL season, which has the Seahawks right after their Super Bowl win over the Broncos. And this is the season that in real life they would go on to lose to the Patriots in the Super Bowl. And of course, we're going to try and change history basically here. So let's take a look at the team and let me show you how stacked of a roster we have going into this. So if you look at the roster here, you've got Richard Sherman, 25 years old, 99 overall, Earl Thomas, 25, 96 overall, and Cam Chancellor, 26 years old, 95 overall. Those are the 3 guys that we're going to be really focused on in this series, trying to keep them on our team for as long as possible. And then you also have 95 overall, 25-year-old Russell Wilson, 95 overall, 28-year-old Marshawn Lynch, Cliff Avrill's a 90 overall, Bobby Wagner's a 90 overall at only 24 years old, Michael Bennett, 88 overall, 28 years old. So this is a very good and a very young team. I think there's only like 4 players over the age of 30 on this squad. So we have a chance, if we can, manage the cap and, be wise with our money, we could build one really great NFL dynasty with this Seahawks team. And I remember after they won that first Super Bowl and they got back to the second one, that's what we all thought it was going to be. We thought, oh man, this team's going to, be here, be right there every year. And they never got back to another Super Bowl with Russell Wilson and Sherman and Thomas and all of them. But here you look at our quarterbacks, of course, Russell Wilson. We also have Tavares Jackson and Terrell Pryor as backups. Terrell Pryor, 6'4", has 93. No, wait, that's his physical. Where's his speed? I think it's like 91 speed, 92 throw power. His accuracy is what brings him down. But yeah, 91 speed. He would eventually in real life switch to a receiver. I think he has like 70 catch, so that might be something we do, is move him to receiver. But we do have a lot of really good receivers. At running back, we have Marshawn Lynch and then Robert Turbin backing him up with Christine Michael. And then at receiver, you've got Percy Harvin, great young player. Jermaine Kerr, Sidney Rice. So Harvin and Rice are two other guys that their careers were plagued by injuries. So hopefully, injuries are turned off in this. So maybe we'll actually get to see how they would be if they had never gotten injured in their careers. We also have Doug Baldwin, who is only a 75 here, but we know would emerge into a really good receiver later on in his career. We have Zach Miller at tight end. The offensive line is really one of the few places where we might need a little bit of help. We do have Russell Okung at left tackle, 86 overall, but we only have a 71 overall in James Carpenter at left guard. We have Max Unger, 81 overall at center. He would eventually in real life get traded to the Saints for Jimmy Graham. J.R. Sweezy at right guard, 71 overall, and then a 69 overall at right tackle. So we could really use some help on that offensive line, help keep Russell Wilson up. That was really one of the things that hurt Russ in his later years in Seattle, is he was just running for his life. That offensive line was so terrible. And then defensive line, you've got Michael Bennett. We have Cliff Averill. We have a couple of young guys here as well, so maybe they'll develop. Brandon Maybane and Tony McDaniel there. Defensive tackles, Malcolm Smith, outside linebacker, Bobby Wagner, and KJ Wright up the middle. Middle linebacker, Bruce Irvin, 85 overall, outside linebacker. And then we've got really good corners, Sherman, Byron Maxwell, and Jeremy Lane. And then it drops off after that. Philip Adams, 69 overall. Thurl Simon, 68 overall. So we may need like a fourth corner just for some depth. Of course, injuries are off, though, so we don't have to worry about that too much. We only have one safety in Earl Thomas, 96 overall, and then Cam Chancellor, 95 overall, with Steven Hauschka and John Ryan as the kicker and punter there. So I do want to go and see who some of the free agents are here to start this. So there is Brandon Flowers. So maybe we bring in an extra corner. I know I was talking about that. David Stewart, 81 overall. That would be a big help at right tackle. I think we're going to try and sign him and bring him in if we're able to. And we are able to, so we sign him to the 1-year deal. So we're going to put him in at right tackle. And so how this is going to work is we're going to simulate through the majority of the games. Each episode of the series will be one season, so starting in the preseason, going all the way through the offseason and getting to the start of the next season. And so we'll simulate the majority of the games. We'll only hop into like the big games. So like if late in the season there's like a divisional matchup that's going to decide who wins the division, or if like there's two of the top teams in the league, if we're one of them and then we're playing someone else that's really good, we'll hop into that game. And then we'll also hop in and do simcast for all the playoff games as well. So if there's a close playoff game late, we can hop in late and try and get the win. But yeah, so that's how we're going to do this. A lot of simulating, mainly to see like if the team that we're building is as good as we would want it to be. Because, the team's already really highly rated. If I were to play every game, we'd probably win the majority of them fairly easily. So I want to make it a little more difficult, make it, give us a little bit of suspense, We're going to start simulating, and we'll see when we get one of those big marquee matchups. All right, so I was looking through, we're still in the preseason, I was looking through the free agents, and Telvin Smith, 23-year-old rookie outside linebacker, 78 overall, is here. We're going to snatch him up and sign him. I got to cut one more guy, and then we're going to sign him because that's a big addition at only 23 years old. All right, so we are in week 13. We got off to a bit of a rough start, lost 2 of our first 3. But then after the bye week, we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight wins, including and won 7 out of 8 games. And now we have 2 of our next 3 games against the 49ers, who are 10-1. We have a game at the Eagles, and then at the Cardinals, and then home against the Rams. So 4 of our final 5 games are in the division. We've got to win these games if we want to win the division, and we need to win these games if we want to make the playoffs at this point, because the NFC is so loaded right now. But we are currently behind the Niners in the division. And then you have the Packers in the north, the Cowboys in the east, and then the Panthers in the south. So we are currently in position for the first wild card spot. And then the Lions are in position for the second, but we're tied at the moment. Hopefully, we're able to win a bunch of these last few games, get into the playoffs. We are going to hop in to this game at Levi Stadium against the 49ers and try to get this big division win. All right, here we go. We get the ball first, and we immediately go down the field and score. And the defense forces a 3-and-out from the 49ers. We go back down the field, score again on a pass from Russell Wilson to Robert Turbin for a touchdown. So we're up 14-0 on the Niners, and the defense is holding them pretty well. We get another touchdown, 70-yard run by Robert Turbin. Wow, 21-0 lead in the first quarter here. And we get a field goal, and then they run it back 101 yards for a touchdown. So they're finally on the board. We have the ball. We punt. And then we get an interception from Jeremy Lane. That's the Legion of Boom making plays out there for us. We go back down the field. We're up 31-7. I might need to lower the quarter length because I have it at 10-minute quarters. That might need to go down to like 7 or 8 minutes on this game because we're scoring a ton of points. We're up 45-7. We're just going to simulate to the end of this one. I don't know how madly we're going to blow them out in the end, but man, we have dominated this game. 59, we dropped 60 points on the Niners, almost 70 points. We win 69, nice, to 24 against the 49ers. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to drop that time down a lot, I think, in order to get these stats more realistic when we hop into these games like this. But let's check out the stats on the game here for us. Russell Wilson, 38 for 51, 437 yards, 5 touchdowns, no picks. And then running the ball, 20 carries for Marshawn Lynch, 152 yards and a touchdown. Robert Turbin, 18 carries, 135 yards, 3 touchdowns. 14 catches, 180 yards, and 3 touchdowns for Percy Harvin. Defensively, we had 1 sack from Cliff Averill, 2 interceptions for Jeremy Lane, 1 for Bobby Wagner, and no forced fumbles on the day. All right, we are dropping quarter length down to 7 minutes after that game there. All right, we're in week 15 now. We have another game against the Niners. Now we're at home. We're still 1 game back in the division against them. So if we win this, we will jump into first place and be in the driver's seat in the NFC West. All right, here we go. Big game against the Niners at home. We're kicking off to start things off. And they miss a long field goal to start it. So we get good field position, and we go down the field and score on a rushing touchdown by Marshawn Lynch. And we force a 3-and-out, and we get a 92-yard touchdown from Wilson to Baldwin. And again, we're up big early here. Just got to keep it like that. Defense is playing good. Wilson throws an interception, though, and San Francisco is able to get a field goal out of that. We're marching down the field. 5-yard touchdown pass from Wilson to McCoy gives us a 21-3 lead. Just a little bit of time left before halftime. Another long missed field goal by the Niners with just under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Now we're driving, and another interception by Russell Wilson gives the Niners life here late before halftime. A 1-yard touchdown run by Carlos Hyde cuts the lead 21-10, 1 minute before half, and we're going to take it into halftime with a 21-10 lead. We do get the ball to start second half, and we go 3-and-out. Niners have some life. They're marching down the field. They fail the 2-point conversion that would have made it a 3-point game, but they do get the touchdown. 5-yard touchdown pass from Kaepernick to Anquan Bolden makes it 16-21. Offense needs to get something going here, and we miss a 52-yard field goal. So the Niners now have a chance. They go 3-and-out. Now we go down the field. A 48-yard touchdown run by Marshawn Lynch gives us a 12-point lead. And another 3-and-out from the Niners. Our defense is locking down here in the second half. And another touchdown. This time we go all the way down to the 1. A 0-yard touchdown run by Robert Turbin. It's 35-16 with just 5 minutes left in this game. And a interception by Earl Thomas should seal the game for us here. And that ought to do it. We are going to defeat our division rival, the 49ers, 45-23. And we control our own destiny now within the NFC West. That's on the game. Russell Wilson, 29 for 41, 360 yards, had 3 touchdowns, did have 2 interceptions, though, on the day. 20 carries for Marshawn Lynch, 142 yards for the touchdown, 10 carries, 31 yards, and a touchdown for Robert Turbin. 6 catches, 80 yards, and a touchdown for Jermaine Kearse. And then 3 catches, 115 yards, and a touchdown for Doug Baldwin. On the defensive side, we had 1 sack on Kaepernick from Tony McDaniel, and then we had the 1 interception by Earl Thomas that basically ended any hope the Niners have of making a comeback in this one. All right, so Cliff Averill wants a contract extension. He wants a 5-year deal. He's already 28. I'm going to see if I can get him to accept maybe a little more money for a shorter deal here. We'll see if he'll take this. My agent will get back to you next week. Oh, so this is the one where you don't find out if they accept it or not until the next week. Interesting. All right, we're at the end of the regular season. Cliff Averill did accept that contract there, by the way. And we won our division 12-4 in the NFC West. And we are, I think, the 2 seed. Yeah, we're the 2 seed. Even though the Lions had a better record than us, they did not win their division. They are a wild card team because the Packers went 12-3-1. And they are the 1 seed. We're 12-4, the 2 seed. So we get a first round bye. We'll have a home playoff game in the divisional round. And let's take a look at the stats on the year. So Russell Wilson had 3,800 yards passing on the year, 32 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. Marshawn Lynch, 330 carries, 1,700 yards, 14 touchdowns. Robert Turbin, 145 carries, 481 yards, and 8 touchdowns. And then Wilson, 74 carries, 175 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And the Madden's back in this day, the quarterback running stats weren't as good. They still hadn't really figured out how to program those right. Percy Harvin had 85 catches, 979 yards, and 13 touchdowns. He was our leading receiver, so we didn't have a 1,000-yard receiver on the year. Jermaine Kearse, 72 catches, 770 yards, 6 touchdowns. Sidney Rice, 71 catches, 827 yards, 2 touchdowns. Zach Miller, 66 catches, 434 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And then Marshawn Lynch out the backfield, 33 catches, 300 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And Doug Baldwin, 33 catches, 407 yards, 5 touchdowns. Cliff Averill led us in sacks with 4 sacks, so we didn't have any big-time pass rushers on the team this year. Bobby Wagner led us in interceptions with 7. Earl Thomas had 5. Cam Chancellor had 4. Jeremy Lane had 4. Sherman had 4. Did anyone have a pick 6? We did have a lot of forced fumbles, 2 from Wagner and then 1 from Lane, Mebrain, Adams, and Johnson. And then we had 1 defensive touchdown from Bobby Wagner. I don't know if that was a fumble recovery touchdown or a pick 6. And then our kicker, Steven Hauschka, went 35 for 41 on field goals with a long of 49, so he didn't even have a 50-yard field goal made on the year, but he was perfect on extra points at least. Looking around the league, Aaron Rodgers led the league in passing with 4,800 yards, and then he also led the league in touchdown passes with 42 on the year. Mike Glennon of the Buccaneers had 36 interceptions, so he almost broke the NFL record for picks because I think the record's like 42 or something. 36 interceptions, that's crazy. Frank Gore led the league in carries on the year. Marshawn Lynch, there we go. We've got a league leader. 1,700 yards led the league in rushing. And then C.J. Anderson of the Broncos had the most rushing touchdowns. Only 300 yards, but 16 rushing touchdowns. So I'm guessing he had a lot of goal line, 1 or 2 yard to go touchdowns this year. Julio Jones led the league with 125 catches, followed closely by Megatron with 124. Julio also led the league with 1,500 receiving yards, actually tied with Calvin Johnson there on that one. And then Percy Harvin led the league in receiving touchdowns, so we had 2 league leaders this year. Brian Cushing of the Texans led the league in tackles with 166. Corey Lemonier, second-year player out of Auburn, had 20 sacks on the year. What? Justin Houston had 12, Elvis Dumerville had 12, and Mario Williams had 12. Casey Hayward for the Packers had 9 picks, which led the league. Morgan Burnett, also with the Packers, had 8. Interesting. Luke Kuechly had 8. So in the divisional round, we are going to be going up against the Lions, who won a wild card game. So they've got Megatron, they've got Stafford. I think they still have Ndamukong Suh at this point. So this might be a bit of a rough game for us, but we are at home. So hopefully we'll pull out the win. All right, here we go. Divisional playoff game at home. And we will get the ball to start it, and we go 3 and out. And the Lions go down the field and get themselves a rushing touchdown from Reggie Bush. We come back again, 3 and out. And we force a 3 and out ourselves. Can't get anything going offensively, and we're down 14-0 here at the start of the second quarter. We get a field goal finally, and defense is starting to hold. We get ourselves a touchdown from Russell Wilson to Sidney Rice. It's 14-10. And they go right back down the field and score under 2 minutes to go here before halftime. We're going to hop in and see if we can get a touchdown here before half. All right, so it has been a hot minute since I have played Madden 15. So if my gameplay skills aren't great, just be patient with me as we're going to find Sidney Rice. We're going to try to get out of bounds, but we're not able to, so we're going to need to hurry up here. Hurry up to the line. Try and get things going here. Get set. And we're going to scramble out. Nope, we're going to find Marshawn Lynch down the field. He's got space, and he's out of bounds. Big pickup for us there. The linebacker came up when we were scrambling, and that left Marshawn Lynch with tons of room to scamper for a big play, and we are on the Detroit side of the field. We're going to try to set up a screen here, see if this will work, get Marshawn Lynch out in space, and get him some blockers upfield. Here we go, back to throw. We're just going to get rid of it quick, and we've got the blockers. We've got the first. We're going inside the 20, and we're knocked down at the 19-yard line. A screen that worked to perfection right there. They blitz, and we're able to get rid of it in time. Now we're going to see if Curse on this corner route can maybe get open back there for a shot at the end zone. If not, we're just going to hit Rice underneath and let him get a couple yards, let that clock keep ticking. We want this to be the final possession of the first half. We do not want to give Detroit any time to put more points up on the board. All right, here we go. We'll see if Miller gets open on the corner route here. Back to throw. They bring pressure. We're going to lob it up, and Miller's open. He's got space, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. And there, before halftime, we're able to work the ball down the field and pull to within one possession. They brought the pressure off the left side. Wilson gets hit, but still able to deliver a perfect pass to Miller for the touchdown. All right, second half here. Both teams not doing much. And Sherman gets us an interception at the 1-yard line. And we punch it in with Marshawn Lynch for a touchdown. We take our first lead of the day, 24-21. They work the ball down the field. They take a short field goal. We got ourselves a tie game. And Russell Wilson throws a pick. Detroit has it deep in our own territory. They get a touchdown out of it. Can we get something going of our own? No. We go 3 and out. And we force a 3 and out of our own. Can we get something going? Another 3 and out. We're just trading 3 and outs at this point. We're down 7, 3 minutes left. We're hopping back in. We've got to go down here, and we've got to win this game. All right, Wilson in the gun, trips to the right. Here we go, back to throw. There's some space over the middle, and we're going to find it. Sidney Rice over the middle. Russell Wilson takes the hit, but delivers a strike. Getting up a little bit slow, but man, has he had a heck of a game. All right, down at the Detroit 35, 1st and 10. We're back to throw. Wilson scrambling. He's going to take off with it here, and he's going to get the first and go out of bounds. An 11-yard pickup there for Russell Wilson with the legs, and goes out of bounds, stops the clock at 2:44. 1st and 10 now from the Detroit 24. Wilson has time, steps up in the pocket. He's just going to take off with it, and he's going to get close to the first down. We'll see where they mark it. He might be just inches short of that first down marker, and they will mark him short. Coming up on the 2-minute warning here in the 4th quarter. Wilson hands to Lynch, and he's going to get first down and more there. Now down inside the 9. And that'll take us down to the 2-minute warning here in this one. 1st and 10 at the 9. Seattle looking to punch it in and tie up this game. Handoff, Marshawn Lynch, and he's going to get about 4 yards down to the 5. Wilson in the gun from the 5. Changing the play here at the line of scrimmage. Wilson hands to Lynch on the draw, and he's going to get into the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle. And they're an extra point away from tying this game. Okay, so I had paused the recording because I was just going to do this simple kickoff. I thought they were going to touch it back. But here's the replay. He brings it out, and he fumbles it. Oh, no, he was down. He was down. He was down. Yeah, that's going to get overturned. He was clearly down, yeah. The wrist and his forearms down. Yeah, knees down. Yeah, this is getting overturned. This is going to be Detroit ball. And Stafford's taken off. And Sherman lays a big hit on Matthew Stafford there. He might actually need to go. Oh, and he's going to find his man there. Big pickup. He's past the 50. And they're working clock. They're running the clock down. Interesting tactic here. And he's going to find Bush underneath. They're going to call a timeout. 52 seconds remain. Oh, and he's going to find Calvin Johnson there. Ball at the 29. Detroit calls time. 47 seconds left. You have to think this is a run here to work more clock because they're in field goal range. We're going to call a timeout there. And it will be a run, and Bush is going to have the first down. And that might just do it for Detroit here. That might be enough to send them to the NFC Championship game. We're going to try to call a timeout to ice the kicker. And the hopes of a Seattle repeat could be in jeopardy here. The kick is up. And it is good, and that does it. Detroit knocks off the defending champion Seattle Seahawks. And they are going to the NFC Championship game. A heartbreaking game to lose there. Defense just didn't play good. 372 yards, 3 touchdowns, only 1 pick for Matthew Stafford. I mean, that's just not good enough. We can't give that up in a playoff game. Wilson played well, 19 for 31 on 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. Did have the 1 pick that really hurt us there in that game. 16 carries, only 65 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Marshawn Lynch. He also had 7 catches and 102 yards out of the backfield as well, though. 7 catches, 54 yards and a touchdown for Sidney Rice. Zach Miller had the 1 catch for 15 yards and a touchdown. Really had 2 sacks, 1 from Irvin and 1 from McDaniel. Richard Sherman had the interception, and then no forced fumbles on the day. Heartbreaker to lose there. You hate to see it. So Super Bowl week, it's going to be Broncos and 49ers. So our division rival is going to the Super Bowl. Let's check out the awards for this year, see who won those. Aaron Rodgers wins league MVP, and Mike McCoy with the Chargers wins Coach of the Year. Rodgers wins NFC Offensive Player of the Year, just beating out Marshawn Lynch for that. Luke Kuechly wins Defensive Player of the Year in the NFC, beating out Bobby Wagner. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Mike Evans. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to HaHa Clinton Dix. Best QB goes to Rodgers. Best running back goes to Marshawn Lynch. So we have 1 award winner. Best wide receiver goes to Julio Jones. Percy Harvin finishes 5th. Best O-line goes to Joe Staley. D-line goes to Cam Jordan. DB goes to... Oh, wait, there's no Best Linebacker award? There's just D-line and DB? Interesting. Best DB goes to Casey Hayward. Best kicker goes to Graham Gano with the Panthers. All right, we're in the offseason now, so we're going to have to re-sign some players. We only have about $20 million in cap room here, so we're going to have to manage this well. We've got Byron Maxwell here, who's 27. We do have the franchise tag as well if we need to use that. Maxwell wants a 5-year deal. If I can give him a 4-year deal and he'll take just a little bit less, that would work really well for me. And he says not interested. Oof, that hurts. All right, KJ Wright. He wants a 6-year deal. I'll give you 4, but I'll up the money a little bit. And he's gone, so I'm not sure if that worked or not. I'm going to use the franchise tag on Stewart because it's only $5 million. He's 83 overall. He's 33. Let's just use the franchise tag on him. Then let's try to bring back Smith here. We'll offer him, we'll bump this up a little bit. 5 years, 11 mil. So Maxwell rejected his contract. Wright accepts. Smith accepts. Telvin Smith accepts. Curse rejects. So we're going to move on, I think, to free agency now. Who all is out here? You've got Devin McCourty, Cam Jordan, Jerry Hughes. Oh my gosh, you've got some big guys here. JPP, Terrence Knighton, Byron Maxwell. I want guards. I want like a really good guard that's also somewhat young. Like I could give Ben Grubbs a 2-3 year deal. All right, so we are able to sign Ben Grubbs, 86 overall left guard. That is a big addition to our offensive line. All right, time for the NFL draft, and we're just going to go directly to our pick. I don't know what pick we have. It's going to be in the 20s, so 26 scouted. We do have a couple of projected first round offensive linemen here. Yeah, so here we go. We got pass block, run block, impact block, and strength. Ooh. So this was the guy I was looking at, is this left guard. A, run block, B, pass block, B, impact block, B, strength. 21 years old, 6'3", 305 pounds. He's not projected to go till the 3rd round, though. I might be able to pick him up later. The center looks pretty good. B's across the board. High 2nd round pick. 21 years old as well. Got AABB for the right guard. Also a 3rd round pick. Then the defensive ends I looked at were 2nd rounders. like B, B, C, and I looked at some receivers as well. None of them are supposed to go to the second round either. This guy, Bram Anderson, looks really good. 6'4", A catching, B catching traffic, B spectacular catch, D route running, but we can work on that. A release, A jumping, A speed. Let's take the center. I want the center, because we can move him to guard if we need to. Here's Bram Anderson. He's still available. Let's go check out if... Yeah, so our Tad Beatty, our big guy, is still here. The guard that we really like. I think we're going to take Bram Anderson. This guy, 6'4", he looks really good. We're going to take him. And then we might trade up. We're going to trade up to, like, the beginning of the third round. Oh, no, there goes Tad Beatty. That's the guy we wanted. He goes at the very last pick of the second round. Oh, my gosh. So he did jump up. All right, let's just go to our third rounder then. Renfred Bernard looks really good out of A&M. He's supposed to be a fourth rounder, but I'm going to reach for him here. And we'll go to our next pick. I don't know if there'll be anyone left that we have scouted. If not, I'll just sim the rest of the draft. If there is, we'll take whoever we have scouted. We'll take this guard, and then we'll just sim the rest of this draft. All right, here we are at rookie signing. So our first round pick, the center, is a 75 overall. And then Bram Anderson, the receiver, also a 75 overall. I want to see their rating. So Bram Anderson has 87 acceleration, 85 agility, 88 carrying, 85 catching traffic, 88 catching, 79 juke, 93 jumping, 90 release, 59 route running. So that was definitely correct on that scouting. 88 speed, 87 spectacular catch. He looks really, really good. And then let's look at the blockers we brought in. So our center has 88 pass blocking. The right tackle we take has 89 pass block. Our right guard has 78. Yeah, so all of our guys that we took look really, really good. And then even our later round guys. So the right tackle is only a 66 overall, but he might progress fairly well. This guard we took in the fourth round, 74 overall. We'll take that. We'll take that. So I'm going to sign all these guys. And that should be the end of the offseason. So this is the start of Season 2, so that's where this episode is going to end, y'all. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave it a like and subscribe so you don't miss out on the rest of this series. And let me know down in the comments, what did you like? What did you not like? What would you like me to change up a little bit with the series? Definitely open to suggestions, but just let me know down in the comments what y'all think. And I'll see y'all in the next video. So episode 1 didn't go the way we had hoped. We got off to a slow start, but we rolled off a lot of wins late in the season to win the division, and then we got bounced in the first round by a wild card team, man. Absolute heartbreaker, but made some good moves in the offseason. We have bolstered the offensive line, brought in a top receiver in the second round that I think is really going to help Russell Wilson out. And hopefully things go better for us here in Season 2. Let's take a look at the team. We still have Russell Wilson as our starter. Blaine Gabbert is our new backup quarterback. And then we've got Marshawn Lynch, Robert Turbin. We have Lamell Hickson, the rookie that we drafted, 70 overall. So should be a good third option. And then at receiver, we have Percy Harvin, Doug Baldwin. And then we have Bram Anderson, 6'4" rookie out of Ohio State. We picked him in the second round. I'm really excited about this guy. I'm excited to see how he does in simulation this year. Tight end, we brought in Jacob Tamme to be our top tight end. We still have Luke Wilson there as well. And then the offensive line, we still have Russell Okung. We brought in Ben Grubbs in free agency. Max Unger still at center. We drafted Darian Tillman. I believe this was our first or third round pick, I believe. But he's a 74 overall as a rookie. And then we re-upped David Stewart. Actually, I think we franchise tagged him, if I remember correctly. So he's on a one-year deal, still an 83 overall. So the offensive line, much improved from last year. That was one of our weaknesses last year. And then Michael Bennett's back. Cliff Averill is back. Brandon Mabane, Tony McDaniel. We drafted Julian Knight, a top rookie, defensive end. Malcolm Smith, Bobby Wagner still here. KJ Wright, Bruce Irvin's here. Sherman, Maxwell Lane. And then Thomas and Chancellor are there as well. So just a few additions, mainly on the offensive side of the ball, to sort of help with the offensive line and give Russell Wilson some better targets. So hopefully we'll put up some more points offensively, and then the defense will continue to shut guys down. Let's start simulating. All right, so we are in week 12, and we are 10-0 so far on the season, still undefeated. going up at home against the 49ers. I believe this is our second matchup with them on the season, so if we beat them again, we've basically locked down the NFC West. You can see the Cardinals and Rams are no competition at all. We currently have the #1 offense in the NFL, which is where we struggled last year, so glad to see that's picking up. Marshawn Lynch is second in the NFL in rushing. Russell Wilson's having a good year passing. And Wagner and Sherman both are tied for the NFL lead with 5 interceptions. Robert Mathis, Clay Matthews, and Corey Lemonnier are tied for the NFL lead with 8 sacks. Tony Romo's leading the league in passing. Adrian Peterson leading the league in rushing. And Demaryius Thomas leading the league in receiving. Let's hop into this game and see if we can take down the Niners and stay undefeated. All right, so here we go. Big time divisional matchup. The 49ers will get the ball to start the game. And Richard Sherman intercepts Colin Kaepernick. And we got the ball at the 10-yard line to start the game. And we're going to punch it in. Marshawn Lynch with a 10-yard touchdown run on the first play for the offense. And just like that, we're up 7-0. We force a 3-and-out. Come back down the field. Russell Wilson to Bram Anderson for a 7-yard touchdown. The rookie getting him a touchdown, and we're up 14-0 just like that on our rivals. Playing good. We get a field goal. We're up 17-0. All right, we're up 24-10, now 31-10. Doing good here in the second half. We're in the fourth quarter. We add some more points. They get a touchdown, but the efforts to come back will not be enough. We win it 41-26. We sweep the 49ers on the year, and we remain undefeated. Hey, undefeated season, still alive. All right, so in Week 16, we are 13-1. We did have another game against the 49ers. I guess I got confused on whether or not we had played them twice already, but we lost a game to the Niners. But we're still ahead by a couple of games in the division. Marshawn Lynch is now leading the NFL in rushing yards, but now we've got a bunch of players wanting contract extensions here, including Russell Wilson, Bobby Wagner, Marshawn Lynch, and Bruce Irvin, and Brandon Mamay. So we're going to have to start negotiating with these guys. And, I mean, Russell Wilson, he's going to want a big, fat contract. So we're going to offer him a good chunk of money here. We're going to offer 6 years, 138, see how he likes that. Hopefully he'll re-sign for that. And I guess we find out next week. We do want to keep Bobby Wagner around. We'll give him a big fat deal as well. Bump this up just a little bit to try to get him to stay. And we'll give Marshawn... we'll probably drop him down to about 3 years, try to bump up the money a bit. Throw an offer at Irvin. And then we'll let you walk. We do have a game against the Cowboys now. They're 11-3. They have the #1 offense, but they have an awful defense. We're going to hop into this game, try to secure the win in Jerry World against one of the better teams in the NFC. All right, in Jerry World against one of the best offenses in the league. We'll have the ball first, and we're going to march down the field, and we miss a 53-yard field goal. And then they punt it back to us. Let's see. We'll just start simulating through here. We get a field goal. We're up 3-0. Then we get another one, 6-0. Bit of a low score in first half here. No touchdowns. We get one final field goal there. So 9-3, now 17-3 after the touchdown 2-point conversion. Now 24-10, 17-24. Let's see if the offense can get something here. No, we throw an interception. But we're going to hop in and try to shut down this Dallas offense here. With our
first down following the long play.
Defense.
Setting
up the screen, but Wagner's going to get in there and bring down DeMarco Murray. A loss on the halfback screen. They move back 5 yards. It'll be second and 15 coming up.
On first down. Now the
That'll take us to the 2-minute warning. They do have all 3 of their timeouts here.
Some tight games these past 2 weeks. They won one last week, but now they trail in another close one, Phil.
Jim, in these close games, which we seem to see almost every single week, it usually comes down to which team doesn't turn the football over.
And off the mark with the throw, he had Dez Bryant wide open.
They are in 4-down territory, and the defense knows that.
Yeah, and you get a situation like this, Jim, on the defensive side, you need one of your pass rushers to come through and get on that quarterback.
Third
in the gun.
and forever. Throws to the right.
And he gets it to Witten. Chancellor's going to take him down. He goes out of bounds. That'll stop the clock with 1:52.
When you
It's going to
can't
be
hit
4th
the
and
quarterback
9.
or put pressure on
And they're
him,
going to come out in a
there's not
punt
much you're gonna
formation
get done
here.
then.
So they're
That
going to
time,
punt it
quarterback
to
had
us
time,
near
throws it down the
midfield with
field
under 2
for
minutes to
another
go. I guess they
completion.
think that they can get a stop on us and get the ball back. So Harvin, we're just going to let that bounce into the end zone for the touchback. Take that to the 20.
This will
We're going to try to
bounce
run this
into the end
clock
zone
out here with
for a
Marshawn Lynch.
touchback, and the ball will come out to the 20. They needed the ball back, and they got it off the punt. And now they need points, and they do have timeouts to work with here in the final 2
tight ends
minutes.
set here.
having
We're
those
going to hand off
timeouts
to
is
Lynch,
everything.
and
What
Met
we always say, use
immediately
those timeouts in the first
the
half.
hole.
Heading to the line for a third down
We're
play.
going to run
This
it,
was
make
something
them
they
use that final
specialized in
timeout.
last week,
37 left. I
converting
trust
these
our defense.
situations.
So we're going to hand it off to Lynch here. He's going to get blown up in the hole again.
And they'll
Only
try
gets
to
about 4
conserve time
yards
here with
total
this
on those 3
timeout.
carries. But we do force Dallas to use all of their timeouts. And now we can
And
punt it
it'll
back
be
to him here.
Ryan back to punt.
And not a great punt at all.
Bryant's got it on the
That's
fair
my
catch
bad
as
there.
the
That was
offense
a great
heads
starting
out
field
now.
position near midfield at the 43. So basically where they
First
were at
down.
earlier
Let's see
when
what
they
come up
punted.
with here.
Now just without their timeouts, and only about 10 seconds came off the clock during that.
First down at the
Romo
43.
back to throw.
Tony
Now hit as he
Romo
throws,
uncorks
and it's
the
almost
long pass.
intercepted. We had like 3 or
Almost
4 guys
intercepted.
get a hand
The
on it,
defense did
but it
everything
falls
right that
incomplete
situation.
there. Oh my goodness. Chancellor had a hand on it, and we had about 2 other guys get hands on that ball. Lucky for Romo and the Cowboys, that would have ended this game. Instead, it's 2nd down and 10 at their own 43. Romo under pressure, going downfield, and Maxwell again gets 2 hands on it, but can't haul it in for the interception. You've got to be able to pick that off. So once again, 3rd down and 10. All at their own 43.
The Seahawks with 2 extra defensive backs in the dime. 3rd and 10.
Romo checks down to Des Bryant. He'll get the first and go down. Clock is ticking. Minute 12 remaining. They'll hurry up to the line here. Romo in the gun. 1st down at the 46-yard line of Seattle. Takes a man in motion here. Clock is winding. Romo back to throw. Now looks, going to fire for Witten over the middle. He'll catch it, go down, pick up 11. Clock is ticking, under a minute. They hurry up to the line, ball at the 35, and they'll spike it there. 46 seconds left. 2nd down coming up. We're going to bring a bit of a blitz here. See if we can get Romo down for a sack.
2nd down and 10.
Romo, quick throw, and he's going to find Witten, and we are able to keep him in bounds, but he's inside the 10, down at the 9. They're going to run up here and try and spike it with about 30 seconds left. 32 seconds left at the 9. Defense has to come up big with a stop here. 2 tight ends set. Romo under center. Williams in motion here. Romo back to throw. Has time, fires for Williams over the middle, but he's going to go down at the 5. Clock is ticking, 20 seconds left here. They're going to run a quick play. Romo has it, now looking, now fires into the end zone, and Earl Thomas knocks it down, incomplete. And it'll be 4th and goal now. Earl Thomas with a great play to swat that ball down. And it is 4th and goal. This is for the game here. At the 5-yard line, 15 seconds remain. Romo back to throw, under pressure, and he's going down! Michael Bennett takes down Romo, and that is it. The Seahawks are going to win it 24-17 in AT&T Stadium. So a close one there against the Cowboys. We should have won that one by more. We had to settle for like 3 or 4 field goals, I think. So we should have blown them out, but we're able to get the win. Stats on the game: Wilson, 25 for 37, 257 yards, 1 touchdown to 1 interception. Marshawn Lynch, 24 carries, 90 yards, and a touchdown on the day. Bram Anderson, 7 catches for 57 yards. Percy Harvin, 6 catches, 83 yards. Doug Baldwin, 5 catches for 51 yards. Jacob Tamme, 1 catch for 52 yards and a touchdown on the day. Defensively, Cam Chancellor had 12 tackles. Michael Bennett had the game-winning sack there at the end. Cliff Averill also with a sack. Earl Thomas with the 1 interception on the day. And a forced fumble by Tony McDaniel that he also recovered. And then Stephen Hauschka was 3 for 4 on field goals on the day. All right, so this next week, Russell Wilson accepted his contract. Wagner accepted his. Marshawn accepted. Bruce Irvin accepted. Now Russell Okung wants a contract extension. He's 27. I'm willing to give him that. I'm willing to give him a deal. All right, so here we are at the end of season 2. We went 15-1 on the season, and we were tied with the Broncos for best record in the league. So perhaps a little Super Bowl rematch coming up between the Broncos and the Seahawks, hopefully, if we can make it there this year. But we do have the top seed in the NFC, so we have the first round bye. That's on the year. Russell Wilson had over 4,000 yards passing, 31 touchdowns, did have 15 interceptions, needs to cut down on that. He was only sacked 5 times on the entire year, so that new offensive line we brought in really helped. Marshawn Lynch, 327 carries, 1,800 rushing yards, 19 rushing touchdowns. Urban, 160 carries, 479 yards, and 9 rushing touchdowns. Russell Wilson, 63 carries, 169 yards, and 3 rushing touchdowns. Percy Harvin was our top receiver on the year, 94 catches, 1,300 yards, 11 touchdowns. Doug Baldwin, 87 catches, 950 yards, 5 touchdowns. The rookie Bram Anderson, a very good rookie year for him, 66 catches, 872 yards, 9 receiving touchdowns. Love to see that from him. And then Jacob Tamme, our tight end, 56 catches, 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. Love to see it. Bobby Wagner led us in tackles with 133, and then Bruce Irvin had 117, and then Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor each had 103. Cliff Averill with 12 sacks. There we go. I remember in the first video we didn't have that many sacks, but nice to see someone get double-digit sacks for us on the year. Michael Bennett had 7, and then Irvin and Jordan Hill each had 4. And then Richard Sherman has 7 interceptions. Bobby Wagner has 5. Earl Thomas with 4. Jeremy Lane with 4. Cam Chancellor with 3. Bruce Irvin with 2. And then a bunch of guys with 1. 3 forced fumbles on the year from McDaniel, Malcolm Smith, and the rookie Julian Knight. And then we recovered 1 of those. And then did we have any defensive touchdowns? 1 from Richard Sherman and then 1 from Derailed Simon on the year. And then our kicker, Stephen Hauschka, was 26 for 30 on field goals. Not bad at all with a long of 49. And then perfect 71 for 71 on extra points on the year. In the NFL, Tony Romo led the league with over 5,100 passing yards. I think at this time that might be an NFL record. Nick Foles came in second, Jay Cutler in third, and Ryan Mallett came in fourth. RIP to Ryan Mallett, former Arkansas Razorback legend. Romo also led the league with 41 passing touchdowns. Rodgers had 38, Peyton Manning with 37. And then Sam Bradford threw 35 interceptions for the Rams. Wow, no wonder they were so awful this year. Jaquiz Rodgers for the Saints led the league with 352 carries. He just barely got 1,000 yards with all those carries, averaged less than 3 yards a carry. Wow. Marshawn Lynch led the league in rushing again this year with 1,800 rushing yards. Also led the league with 19 rushing touchdowns. The next closest was a bunch of guys tied with 12. Julio Jones led the league with 130 catches. Antonio Brown was second. And then Demaryius Thomas led the league with 1,500 receiving yards. And then Dez Bryant led the league with 13 receiving touchdowns. Donald Butler of the Chargers led the league with 182 tackles, followed by John Bostic. 12 sacks was the league leader with Robert Mathis. So Cliff Averill was tied for the league lead in sacks there. 10 interceptions was the league leader by Vontae Davis. So NFL MVP goes to Tony Romo. Peyton Manning finishes second. Russell Wilson finishes third. And then Marshawn Lynch finished ninth. So we had 2 guys in the top 10 for MVP voting. And then we won Coach of the Year with Pete Carroll. So that's nice to see. And then in the NFC, Offensive Player of the Year goes to Tony Romo. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Michael Kendricks. Bobby Wagner finishes third. Bruce Irvin finishes fifth. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Devon Hale. And then Bram Anderson finished third in that voting. And Marshawn Lynch wins Best Running Back. Dez Bryant wins Best Receiver with Percy Harvin finishing second. Cliff Averill finishes second to Cam Jordan in Best D Lineman. Richard Sherman finishes third for Best DB. And then Steven Hauschka finished 4th for best kicker. All right, so we got our first round bye, and now we are facing the Cowboys again with the NFL MVP Tony Romo, with Dez Bryant, with that great offense that they have. But we beat them once in their stadium. Now they're coming up to CenturyLink Field with the 12th man. We're going to try to beat them again and move on to the NFC Championship game. In Seattle, NFC Divisional Round playoffs. Hopefully we can get past our first playoff game this year. We'll have the ball first. We don't score, but we get it back. We're up 7-0, and we get another touchdown, 14-0, now 21-0. We're going to make it 28-0. We do 28-0 at halftime. We are blowing out the Cowboys. Tony Romo is choking in the playoffs yet again, and we are going to blow them out of the water. We win it 28-7. Wasn't even close. We didn't even have to score in the second half. We did all our scoring in the first half. Tony Romo, the NFL MVP, goes down. Stats on the game: Russell Wilson, 20 for 27, only 135 yards, had 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's what we like to see. Marshawn Lynch, 21 carries, 104 yards, and a touchdown. Robert Turbin got 13 carries for 49 yards and a touchdown. Russell Wilson, 9 carries for 34 yards on the day. Doug Baldwin, 4 catches for 26 yards and a touchdown. Percy Harvin, 4 catches, 36 yards. Jacob Tamme, 4 catches, 23 yards on the day. Bruce Irvin led us with 9 tackles and 2 sacks on the day. Brandon Mebane also had a sack on the day. And then Jeremy Lane and Bobby Wagner had interceptions for us. Did we have a defensive touchdown? We did not, but that's okay. We win at 28-7. We're moving on to the NFC Championship game. Now in the NFC Championship game, we're facing the Detroit Lions. So not a team I was expecting to see, but you've got Calvin Johnson still. You've got Matthew Stafford. They probably still have Ndamukong Suh at this point. This might be when they had Reggie Bush as their running back as well. I can't remember exactly, but this should be an interesting game. Do the Lions get to their first Super Bowl in forever, or do we get back and try to build what happened a few years ago into a full-on dynasty? All right, so it said this Lions team was a 90 overall. Matthew Stafford is a 99 overall. They also have a rookie quarterback as the backup as well. Reggie Bush is a 92. Joique Bell is a 90. This is when, like, overalls in Madden were a little bit weird. They fluctuated a lot based on what sort of scheme you're running. Calvin Johnson, of course, a 99. Eric Ebron, a 91. Wow. The offensive line looks really good. The defense looks good. You got Ziggy Ansah. You do still have Ndamukong Suh, who's a 99, and Nick Fairley as a 99. Wow, Stephen Tulloch there. Okay, yeah, this is a pretty good team. Secondary looks a little bit weak. All right, we might be in for a rough one today. All right, NFC Championship game. Let's start simulate and see how this goes. And they take a quick 7-0 lead. We come back down and get a field goal. And we get a touchdown. We're up 10-7. Now we're going to go up 17-7 here going into halftime, it looks like. And we just got to keep things going. They get a couple more scores. It's 17-13, now 24, now 31-13. Couple of back-to-back touchdowns there. Big for us to secure this late lead. And that's going to be enough to send us back to the Super Bowl, baby. We are NFC champions. Stats on the day: Wilson, 23 for 30, 202 yards. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Our punter threw a pass apparently for 13 yards. Interesting. Marshawn Lynch, 18 carries, 109 yards with a touchdown. Robert Turbin, 14 carries, 37 yards. Russell Wilson, 12 carries, 39 yards, and a touchdown on the day. Marshawn Lynch had 4 catches for 6 yards. Percy Harvin, 4 catches, 77 yards, and a touchdown. Jacob Tamme, 4 catches for 38 yards. Doug Baldwin, 4 catches, 35 yards, and a touchdown. Bram Anderson, 4 catches for 18 yards. And then Bobby Wagner led us in tackles with 9 on the day. We had 2 sacks, 1 from Jordan Hill, 1 from Brandon Mebane, 1 interception by Richard Sherman, and no defensive touchdowns on the day. And we are here in the Super Bowl against the Patriots. So what would have been the real-life matchup in Season 1 if we had made it to the Super Bowl, we now get here in Season 2, going up against Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, Wes Welker, Julian Edelman, Rob Gronkowski, and all of them. Are we going to prevail this time, or will history repeat itself? Hopefully not. Let's see what happens. Let's get into Super Bowl. What number is this even? It doesn't even say the number, so I think this is like Super Bowl 49, I think, I want to say. All right, here we are in Super Bowl 50. It is Super Bowl 50. I saw when they were doing the pregame, they had the patch on. They had the accurate patch. I'm surprised. This game was a few years before Super Bowl 50, but they did have like the golden 50 patch where it was the numbers instead of the Roman numerals, which they actually did in real life for Super Bowl 50. But let's see how we do against New England in the Super Bowl. We're up 7-0 early here, but Brady's going to march down the field, tie it up. We get ourselves a field goal. Defense is looking pretty good here so far. It's 10-10. Are we going to get more points for halftime? We do. We get a touchdown right before halftime. We come out and get another one. We get another one. We're up 21. We're up 28, 38-10. We are going to take the Super Bowl. We're going to blow out the Patriots just like we did the Broncos. 48-24 is your final score. We are Super Bowl champions. And there we are, running out onto the field. The confetti is falling in Tampa Bay. 2 Super Bowls in 3 years for this Seahawks team. The Legion of Boom gets its second Super Bowl that it was never able to get in real life. Marshawn Lynch there getting dogpiled on by Coleman, and I think that's Thomas there. But Cam Chancellor, Richard Sherman, Cliff Averill, Bobby Wagner, Earl Thomas, Russell Wilson, Marshawn Lynch, Doug Baldwin, the rookie offensive lineman that we brought in, Bram Anderson. Marshawn Lynch gets Super Bowl MVP. You'll love to see it.
So there it is, the Lombardi Trophy.
There's the owner there with the Lombardi Trophy, Marshawn Lynch, Pete Carroll, lifting up the Lombardi for the second time. And now we've got to go into the offseason and try to keep this team together and see if we can win another one next year. Stats on the day: Wilson, 22 for 35, only 164 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. I don't think he threw a single interception in this playoff run, which is huge for us. Robert Turbin, 14 carries, 50 yards and a touchdown. Marshawn Lynch, 14 carries, 151 yards. He averaged over 10 yards a carry and had 2 touchdowns. And then the fullback, Derek Coleman, got a 3-yard carry for a touchdown. Doug Baldwin, 8 catches, 57 yards. Percy Harvin, 6 catches, 42 yards, and a touchdown. Jacob Tamme, 2 catches for 36 yards. Marshawn Lynch also added a receiving touchdown, so he had 3 total touchdowns in this game. That's awesome to see. Earl Thomas led us with 12 tackles on the day. We didn't have any sacks on Tom Brady, but Richard Sherman got 2 interceptions. Byron Maxwell had 1. Bruce Irvin had 1. So Brady threw 4 picks in the Super Bowl. Wow, so much for your GOAT there. All right, so we're here in the re-signing period, and we've got our fullback here. We've got Brandon Mebane. Russell Okung needs a new deal. Byron Maxwell, Jeremy Lane both need new deals. David Stewart needs a new deal. We've got a lot of guys that we're going to have to re-sign. Keep this team together, and we only have about $18 million in cap room. Honestly, we might have to let Maxwell walk. I definitely want to keep Okung if we can. Let's try and bump this up a bit. We'll up it to 5 years. And he's not interested, so I don't think we'll be getting him back. We're going to try to bring back Jeremy Lane. This might be where some guys choose to walk and test free agency. We'll see if we can get David Stewart back. If we can get Stewart back, then we can just franchise tag Okung. I think we got him back, so I'm going to use the franchise tag on Russell Okung. It's 10 mil. But, I mean, that's an 89 overall left tackle that we get now. Lane's not interested. Byron Maxwell come back, offering him all I can here. We may have to look and see if we can get some guys that we can release to get some cap relief here. I wasn't really able to find anywhere that we could get cap relief, so we only have about $2 million in cap space here. There are some big-name free agents out here, but we're not really going to be able to go after any of them, at least not for now. But we do have the majority of our core under contract for at least 2 more seasons. So hopefully by the time they come due for new contracts again, we'll be able to move some money around and get some cap relief, hopefully. All right, so it is time for the NFL draft. We didn't get to do really anything in free agency. So this draft, I'm going to focus on building depth for the defense. And I did scout a lot of guys. I also need some running backs as well. Let's see. We had some guys scouted here. This one looks really good to me. Agility's a bit low, but A speed, A acceleration, B elusiveness, B ball carrier vision. Trucking looks good. Spin and juke are okay. I think we're going to go corner. We need some corner with losing Jeremy Lane and Byron Maxwell. Got a couple of guys with A man coverage and B zone coverage, and their speed looks good as well. Gonna be one of these two guys here that we take. I think we're gonna take... he's not supposed to go till the second round, but I don't think we'll get him in the second round. So I think we go with this corner that we really like. Well, this running back is still here. Let's go take a look at him. He's a second round projected as a B speed rating, B acceleration, or B agility, A acceleration, decent ball carrier vision, decent stiff arm and spin move. So I think we'll go back and select the running back here.
The Giants are
Righty Harden. Oh, I accidentally advanced. I wanted to trade down. Crap. Oh, I hit the wrong button. I thought I was on the trade button. I meant to hit back instead of hit X. Oh, no. Oh, well. So we drafted a tight end, it looks like. We needed one of those anyways. All right, let's see who's still here from our scouted. It looks like mostly running backs. It's all running backs. And then some D tackles. Which one do we go with? Which one had the better production grades and stuff? So they both had, this had a 27, he had an 18. We'll go with Gilmore here, and then we'll just simulate the rest of the draft because all my guys got taken. All right, so here's our rookie class, and our top pick in the first round, the corner, is a 72. That's not bad. A little bit better would have been nice, but not awful. We do get Harden out of Wisconsin, a decent running back. Let's check out some of the ratings here. I want to see the speed. This corner has 88 man coverage. He has 67 press, 73 pursuit. He has 90 speed. The running back we got has 87. This other running back, or no, this is a corner with 94. The other running back had an 89 speed. Corner only has 45 tackle. Oof. He has 82 zone, so it doesn't look awful, but not as good of a draft class as we had last year. We definitely need some depth along the defense and the defensive front. So we might add that in the preseason, but that's going to wrap things up for this video, y'all. We got ourselves a second Super Bowl. We've got 2 Super Bowls in 3 years now with the Seahawks, and we're just going to try and keep this going as long as we can. So let me know if you like this video. Let me know down in the comments. Let me know if there's something you think I should change up about how we're doing the episodes. And then if you enjoyed it, also make sure to leave it a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the rest of this series. And for all things sports gaming news and updates, stay tuned to Sports Gamers Online. I'm Brandon Satterwhite with SGO. Thank you for watching. So Season 2 really couldn't have gone much better. We only lost 1 game in the regular season, and then we just steamrolled our way through the entire playoffs to a Super Bowl championship. We won Super Bowl 50 over the New England Patriots and Tom Brady to get our second Super Bowl in the Legion of Boom era, our second in 3 years, our first here in the series, and now we're kind of starting to hit the salary cap wall, if you will. We don't have much room to play around with. We're going to have to start possibly letting some guys go after this season. But we are going to try to keep the Legion of Boom together as long as possible. But it might get difficult here. We're about to start Season 3. Let's take a look at the team. So Russell Wilson's still here at a 99 overall. We signed him to a big fat contract in the last episode. Tavares Jackson we bring in as our backup quarterback. And then we have Marshawn Lynch. And then we have the 2 rookie running backs that we drafted. Hopefully they develop decently into good enough backups, hopefully. And then at receiver, we still have Percy Harvin. Bram Anderson now moves up to the number 2 position. He had a phenomenal rookie season. Doug Baldwin has not progressed at all overall-wise. If he doesn't do anything this season, then we may look to go ahead and let him walk. And then the rest of this is just filled out with guys that I signed on the minimum in free agency. Tight end is still Luke Wilson. And then the offensive line still looks pretty good. We have Russell Okung at left tackle, Ben Grubb still at left guard. We did have to release Unger At center, he was 30 years old. It saved us about $3 million. It allowed me to go through and sign a bunch of guys for like 700, 800,000 to sort of fill out the rest of the roster. And with how good Yokel is here, going into his second year, he's only 22 years old, already an 83. And I think Unger was like at an 86, so it's not that big of a drop, and he's going to continue to progress as well. So moving on from one of our younger guys after our second Super Bowl win there. And then right guard, we have Darian Tillman, and then at right tackle, we have David Stewart, who we brought back again this year. Left end is still Michael Bennett. Right end, Cliff Averill. Defensive tackle, we had to let our defensive tackles go, so we just got guys on the cheap in free agency to sort of fill in where we could. Malcolm Smith still at left outside linebacker, Bobby Wagner and KJ Wright up the middle at inside linebacker, Bruce Irvin on the outside on the right side. Richard Sherman still here. We did have to let Lane and our other top corner go, so, you know, the back part of this defense might not be as good this year. So it's going to be interesting to see outside of Sherman how the rest of this secondary does. And then we still have Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor both at 99 overalls. Stephen Hauschka, our kicker again. And then we brought in the rookie punter Lou Broussard there. And if you look at some notable guys on the last year of their deal, our starting tight end Luke Wilson, Simon, one of our top corners, Doug Baldwin's on the last year of his deal. Russell Okung's on the last year of his deal. Stephen Hauschka on the last year of his deal. So there are still some guys that, you know, are going to be coming up for extensions this year, and I don't know if we're going to be able to give them to them, especially Baldwin and Okung. This could be their last year on the team. All right, so here we are in week 1 of season 3 of this series. Let's get to simulating. All right, so we're here in week 9 up against the 49ers. We're both 6-1 on the season. It feels like every year there's a marquee matchup with San Francisco. We are the 2 best teams in this division. They ruined our perfect season last year. They beat us in week 1. So we're going to try to go out and get some revenge on this team here in San Francisco. All right, here we are in Levi Stadium, Santa Clara, California. We're going to get the ball first. We have the first touchdown on the board. We're up 7-0 into the second quarter. Now they tie it. It's 7-7. We get another score, up 14-7. Now 21-7 here right before halftime, but they will make it 14-28, 21-28. Will they be able to tie it up? They do. So we're going to go a little slower here. Able to work the ball down the field. We get a field goal. We're up 31-28, but they come back down the field, and a 7-yard touchdown pass from Colin Kaepernick to Michael Crabtree gives San Francisco their first lead of the day, 35-31. Let's hop in on offense and try and regain this lead. We'll go 5 wide here. Got Harvin and Anderson on the outside. Baldwin and Brown in the flats. Looking to throw. Fires quick to the right side. We got Percy Harvin. He's got some space, and he's going to get out of bounds at the 41. A 20-yard pickup there. They're bringing pressure. We got a guy on the slant. Brown just going to take it out of bounds. Gets some yardage. Gets us a first. Keep the chains moving. Go for a draw here with Marshawn, and he's got some space, and he's going to pick up good yardage there. 7 yards on that carry. I don't like the look of that. We're just going to audible out of it. Get a little quick pass going here. Quick throw to Percy Harvin. Ooh, I think he's going to be just shy of the first down there. It's going to be 3rd and inches, I believe. Percy Harvin with almost 200 yards receiving on the day. Wow. 2:30 to go here. 3rd and 1 from the 19. We got to punch this across there. And we're going to have the first, and Marshawn's going to have us down at the 5-yard line. Clock ticking here. We're coming up on the 2-minute warning. All right, we're going to go halfback draw. Marshawn Lynch his way into the end zone. Touchdown Seahawks, and we're going to regain the lead. And now the defense is going to have to hold. Oh, it's a 3-man rush, but Michael Bennett's going to still get there to bring down Colin Kaepernick. They're going no huddle here. They've got to hurry it up. They will not use a timeout. We're under a minute to go here. Kaepernick in the gun. We have the spy and the contain on him, and we hit him as he throws. It falls incomplete. It's going to be 3rd and long coming up for San Francisco. Under a minute to go in this game. Kaepernick in the gun, 3 wide for him, spread out. Here he goes, looking to throw. Has time there. He's going to go down again. Sacked on the play by Michael Bennett. All right, 4th and 20. Kaepernick in the gun. This is for the game here. If we stop him here, it's over. They're going to throw. Vernon Davis can't get the first down. He's hit about 3 yards shy by Cam Chancellor. Comes up and knocks him down. It's a turnover on downs. The Seattle defense holds. They did not give Kaepernick much time to work there. Chancellor saw the throw, comes up and makes a great hit on Davis. And that could be the game there. After a couple of good runs by Marshawn Lynch, we can just knee this down. And that's going to do it. We will knock off the 49ers 38-35 here in San Francisco. A great final drive by Russell Wilson and a great stop by the defense gets us the win and puts us in the driver's seat in the NFC West. Stats on the game for this one: Russell Wilson, 25 for 32, 332 yards, 2 touchdowns, along with 2 interceptions. Marshawn Lynch, 24 carries, 164 yards, with 3 rushing touchdowns on the day. Percy Harvin, 9 catches, 191 yards, 2 touchdowns. Doug Baldwin, 50 yards on 5 catches. Graham Anderson, 4 catches, 26 yards. Marshawn Lynch, 3 catches for 23 yards out of the backfield. Offensively, Bobby Wagner had 11 tackles on the day. Bruce Irvin with 10. We had 2 sacks from Michael Bennett, 1 from Cliff Averill. No interceptions on the day, and no forced fumbles either. All right, now we're in Week 12 going to Lincoln Financial Field. We're 8-2, and so are the Eagles. They have the #1 offense in the league, but one of the worst defenses in the league as well. We need this win. The 49ers are matching us win for win. If we mess up, they're going to keep going, and they're going to take that top spot in the NFC West, so we need this win against the Eagles. All right, here we are going up against the Eagles in Philadelphia. We got the first possession. We go right down the field and score. We followed up with a field goal. We're up 10-0. Now 13-0 after another field goal. They get a touchdown, and they're going to get another one. They're up 14-13, but we get a touchdown right before half, and so do they. It's 21-20. It's going back and forth. Going into the fourth, we're down 8. We're going to have to slow this thing down. All right, we have to punt. They get another score. We're down 15. Let's hop in and see if we can make this comeback. Russell Wilson in the gun here, looking to throw. Oh, we've got a guy wide open. It's Bram Anderson, and he can't stay in bounds, but he picks up a good chunk of yardage there. They left him just completely wide open on that one. Wilson in the pistol again, another handoff, this time for Marshawn Lynch again, and he's going to pick up a big chunk, 15 yards, and that's going to take us to the fourth quarter. We are down by 15 points. All right, Russell Wilson in the gun here, looking to throw. Stepping up and breaks off the first tackler, and he's just going to go take the 10 yards, slides down, picks up the first. What a job by Russell Wilson to avoid that sack. Was very close to a big-time loss, and instead turns it into a first down. Now back in the gun again. Looking to throw. Now forced out of the pocket. He's just going to take off with it. Going to get some yardage, goes out of bounds. And he'll pick up about 8 on that scramble there. Wilson back to throw. Going to find Anderson. He has it on the sideline. Goes out of bounds at the 5. What a great catch by the second-year receiver out of Ohio State. We're going to try to set up the screen and see if we can get it in here with Marshawn. Get our guys to set up blocks. We've got them. And Marshawn's into the end zone. Touchdown. We got to go for 2 here. All right, Wilson in the gun. Looking to throw, firing, and it's knocked down, incomplete. So we're down by 9. It is a 2-possession game. Bulls in the gun. They are going to throw here on 3rd down, and it's knocked down, incomplete. It's 4th down. Back to throw. Wilson looking downfield and nearly intercepted. Underthrown there for Bram Anderson. All right, 3rd and 10 here. We're in 4-down territory. Wilson back to throw. Looking, and he's going to find a hole in the zone for Luke Wilson, and he's going to get out of bounds to stop the clock with 1:38 left, 40 at the 46-yard line. Wilson back to throw, looking towards the sideline. He's got Brown. That's going to be another big play. Gets out of bounds, 1:34 remaining. Wilson back to throw. Fires over the middle, this time for Marshawn Lynch, and he's going to get down at the 20. 1:20 remaining as the clock is ticking. They do not choose to use a timeout. They go no huddle here. Wilson in the gun, quickly looking to throw. Scrambling now, just going to run and get a few yards. Goes out of bounds at the 18. 1:10 remaining. Wilson back to throw, looking, end zone, and it's intercepted. He was looking for Bram Anderson. Moore cuts it off, and that'll just about do it for this one. So we drop this one to the Eagles, 35-26. Russell Wilson, 30 for 42, 330 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions on the day. Marshawn Lynch, 16 carries, 76 yards, and a touchdown on the day. Doug Baldwin, 5 catches, 45 yards. Luke Wilson, 5 catches, 39 yards. Bram Anderson, 5 catches, 84 yards. Marshawn Lynch, 5 catches, 84 yards, and a touchdown. Percy Harvin, 4 catches, 56 yards with a touchdown. Cam Chancellor led us with 9 tackles on the day. 1 sack came from Cassius Marsh. 2 interceptions, 1 for Earl Thomas, 1 for Cam Chancellor, and then no forced fumbles on the day. All right, so we're in the final week of the regular season. We're 11-4. We're 2 games back of the 49ers. We dropped a game to the Bills last week. We haven't officially clinched a playoff spot yet. It feels like we're going to get in as long as we don't lose and then just all chaos breaks loose. But we do have Russell Okung here wanting to negotiate another extension. I feel like we just gave him an extension recently. I'm going to bump this down just a little bit. Try and save us a bit. Because I do want to bring him back. He's a 91 overall left tackle. I mean, that's good to have. So we'll see if he accepts. All right, so we finished season 3, 12-4. We're going to be a wild card team playing the Buccaneers in the first round. But let's check out the stats on the season for this year. Russell Wilson, 3,900 yards, 24 touchdowns, 19 interceptions. He throws so many interceptions in this game. I don't understand it, really. Marshawn Lynch, 333 carries, 1,800 yards rushing, 18 rushing touchdowns. Brady Harden, the rookie, 103 carries, 229 yards, 4 touchdowns. Russell Wilson, 63 carries, 157 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. Percy Harvin, again, our leading receiver, 101 catches, 1,142 yards with 9 touchdowns. Doug Baldwin had 88 catches and 903 yards, a pretty good season for him, but only 1 receiving touchdown, which is a little odd. Bram Anderson, another great year, 81 catches, 891 yards, 9 receiving touchdowns on the year. Bobby Wagner led us with 174 tackles on the year. Michael Bennett led us with 22 TFLs, 11 sacks from Cliff Averill, 9 from Michael Bennett, 4 from Cassius Marsh. And then Bobby Wagner led us with 5 interceptions. Earl Thomas had 4. Bruce Irvin had 2. Cam Chancellor had 2. Richard Sherman had 2. So not as many turnovers here being forced by the defense this year as we're used to in the past. We do have some forced fumbles. Bobby Wagner forced 2. Derek Landry forced 2. Bruce Irvin and Simon each forced 1. Hauschka, perfect on extra points on the year, and then 32 for 36 on field goals with a long of 49. Matthew Stafford led the NFL with over 5,100 passing yards on the year. Matt Ryan also broke 5,000 yards. Aaron Rodgers comes just 4 yards short of breaking 5,000. Colton Baca, second-year quarterback for the Bengals, throws for 4,700. Blaine Gabbert throws for 4,600 yards and 35 touchdowns on the year for the Broncos. Tony Romo's looking good. Eric Kendricks, a new quarterback for the Steelers, it looks like. Nick Foles had a great year. Johnny Manziel had a great year. Aaron Rodgers led the league with 43 touchdowns. Stafford had 37. Blake Bortles, 3,900 yards, 36 touchdowns, only 9 interceptions. So a great year for him. Colton Baca, the quarterback for the Bengals, led the league with 29 interceptions. Ryan Mallett had 18 touchdowns, 24 interceptions. Brock Osweiler, 12 touchdowns to 23 interceptions. Andrew Luck, 20 touchdowns to 23 interceptions. So a ton of interceptions being thrown in simulation here in this game. LaShawn McCoy led the league in rushing with just under 2,000 yards. He was under 100 yards away from breaking that. And then he had 28 rushing touchdowns. That might have broken LaDainian Tomlinson's record. I'm not sure. That very well could have, though. Marshawn Lynch second in both rushing and rushing touchdowns on the year. Calvin Johnson led the league with 127 catches, as well as 1,800 yards receiving, and it looks like 19 receiving touchdowns. Alshon Jeffrey for the Jags, second with 14 on the year. Alden Smith led the league with 12 sacks. Trent Cole had 10. Khalil Mack had 10. And then Eric Weddle, Antoine Cason, and Kareem Jackson led the league with 7 interceptions each. And Aaron Rodgers is named NFL MVP. Weird considering LaShawn McCoy literally ran for 1,900 yards and 28 touchdowns. But Rodgers gets the MVP. Chip Kelly gets Coach of the Year. And then in the NFC, McCoy gets Offensive Player of the Year. Marshawn Lynch comes in fourth for that. Bobby Wagner wins Defensive Player of the Year, so that's a great one. Great win for the Legion of Boom defense there. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Brady Harden comes in third there. Defensive Rookie of the Year, we don't have anyone there on that one. Best quarterback, I don't think Russell Wilson actually came in ninth there. Marshawn Lynch finishes second to McCoy for best running back. Best wide receiver, Percy Harvin comes in third. Best D lineman, Michael Bennett comes in third there. And then best DB, we actually didn't have anyone on best DB for this year, which is a bit odd for the Legion of Boom to see. And then our kicker, Hauschka, comes in fourth for best kicker. But now it's time to hop in and take on this Buccaneers team. I don't even know who plays for the Bucs at this point. But they're an 88 overall team, so have to see if we can take them down in Tampa Bay. Wild card game here in Tampa against the Bucs. We have the ball first. We get a field goal to start off the game. They get a touchdown on their first drive, and then we get a touchdown there. We get another one. We're up 17-7, going into half now 20-7. As we go into halftime, it's now 20-10. We get another touchdown, 27-10. Big lead here in the second half. They're trying to come back. It's a 10-point game. We're just trying to run down clock. 34-17. That should be enough to do it, and it will. We're moving on. We knock off the Buccaneers, and we're moving on to the divisional round. Stats on this game, Russell Wilson, 23 for 29, 312 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's what we need. When he gets into the playoffs, he locks in. He doesn't turn the ball over. That's why we were able to make that run last year, and we're going to need that again this year if we're going to make another run. Marshawn Lynch, 19 carries, 107 yards, 2 touchdowns on the day. Love to see it. 8 catches for 52 yards for Bram Anderson, 6 catches, 107 yards, and a touchdown for Percy Harvin. 3 catches for 74 yards and a touchdown out of the backfield for Marshawn Lynch. Defensively, Bruce Irvin led us with 12 tackles on the day, a sack from Kevin Pierre-Louis and Jordan Hill on the day, no interceptions on the day, and no forced fumbles either. But we win this one 37-24, and we're still alive in the playoffs. All right, now we're in the divisional round, and we have a rematch against the Eagles going back to Philadelphia, where we lost a heartbreaker earlier in the season. Do we get our revenge and keep this run going, or do we get knocked off and our hopes of back-to-back Super Bowls ends here? All right, divisional round rematch against the Eagles. We have the ball to open things up. We're going to get the first points. It's 3-7 after they score a touchdown. Not much scoring going on here in this one, a defensive battle. Are we going to get a touchdown before half? We do. We're up 10-7 at half. Now 17, now 14-17. 24-14. This one's going to come down to the wire. 27 now, 33-14, 40-14. We run away with it in the second half. We run it up on them. We get our revenge. We're going back to the NFC Championship, baby. We outscore them 37-14 in the second half to win it 47-21. Stats on the game for this one, Russell Wilson, 27 for 36, 225 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Again, that's the key to us winning these games. No interceptions is the key. Marshawn Lynch, 18 carries, 151 yards, and a touchdown. Brady Harden, the rookie, 9 carries, 30 yards, and a touchdown. And Derailed Gilmore, 6 carries, 36 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns in this game. So all 3 running backs getting involved in the running game. Doug Baldwin, 7 catches, 57 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Percy Harvin, 6 catches, 57 yards. Luke Wilson, 6 catches, 51 yards. Bram Anderson, 4 catches, 49 yards. Bruce Irvin led us with 8 tackles on the day. We had no sacks, but we had 4 interceptions from Nick Foles, Trumaine Johnson, Bobby Wagner, Richard Sherman, and Earl Thomas, all getting involved. No forced fumbles. Did we have any defensive touchdowns? We did not. I guess revenge is the name of the game here in these playoffs, as we have our division rival, the San Francisco 49ers, who we split the season series with in the regular season. Now we're going to have to go through them to get back to the Super Bowl. We got it in San Francisco for the NFC Championship. Let's get into this. All right, NFC Championship game against the Niners. We're going to take the opening drive and get a field goal out of it. Still 3-0. Now we get a touchdown, 10-0 here. They get a touchdown there before half. Do we answer? We do. 17-7, 17-14 going into halftime. This is going to be a close one. 21-17. Now 24-21. We have the lead. Now they get it back 28-24. Let's see what we can do here. We go down the field, and it looks like we turned it over on down, so they have it at their own 5, 28-24. We get the 3 and out. 4 minutes remaining on their side of the field. Let's see what we can do. We go down the field. Another turnover on downs at the 10, under 3 minutes remaining. Do we get another stop? We do. No timeouts. A minute 34 left at our own 31 with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line. Can we get the comeback here against our division rival in the rain, in the mud? Wilson in the gun, looking to throw, gonna fire, has it to Lynch. Man, Willis jumped on it, tried to jump the route, but missed, and that let Lynch get a big pickup there. So we've got to hurry. Minute 15 remaining. Looking to throw. Gonna fire for Baldwin. He's knocked down over the middle, but it's gonna be a big pickup. Ball at the 39 here. Gonna try to go smash corners. Gonna try to get something towards the sideline here. Just gonna throw this out of bounds. There's too much pressure. 55 seconds left at the 39-yard line. All right, in the gun here. We're gonna run curls. We'll see if we can hit Harden over the middle. And again, pressure there. Just got to throw it away. Incomplete. 3rd down. We're, of course, in 4-down territory at this point. We'll look for slot drive here. Possibly Baldwin in the slot or Wilson or Brown with the flood concept here. And yeah, we're going to hit Brown. He's going to get us the 1st down and get out of bounds. There is a flag. Is that a late hit? Is that going to be a free 15 yards? Possibly. It looks like it's going to be on Patrick Willis. It is going to be a late hit, out of bounds, unnecessary roughness. Gives us an extra 15 yards. We're down at the 14-yard line. And this is a great chance. 44 seconds left. We have no timeouts. 24-28 we trail. Trip to the Super Bowl on the line here. And Wilson going down, sacked on the play. A great blitz there. And we have to hurry up to the line. 30 seconds left after the sack. Wilson back to throw. Looking. And it's nearly intercepted by Antonio Cromartie on the left side. It's going to be 3rd and 20. Ball at, I believe, the 26-yard line. 26 seconds remaining. Ball at the 24. Wilson back to throw. Looking. Firing. End zone and knocked down. Incomplete. It's 4th and 20. One final chance. The trip to the Super Bowl on the line. Wilson in the gun. He'll look to throw. Throwing into the end zone, and it's going to be knocked down, incomplete, and that will do it. It is over. We lose in the NFC Championship game to the 49ers. We will not be going back to the Super Bowl this year. Stats on this game: Russell Wilson, 35 for 52, 370 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. For some reason, Michael Bennett threw a pass, it seems. Don't know what's going on there. Marshawn Lynch, only 15 carries for 63 yards. Yeah, definitely not going to win many games with rushing stats like that. Percy Harvin, 8 catches for 74 yards. Bram Anderson, 7 catches, 58 yards. Marshawn Lynch, 6 catches for 48 yards. Luke Wilson, 6 catches, 47 yards and a touchdown. Doug Baldwin, 5 catches, 83 yards and a touchdown. Earl Thomas led us with 13 tackles on the day. No sacks on Colin Kaepernick. No interceptions. And no forced fumbles. I mean, we had, I think, 3 turnover on downs within the 15-yard line. We got to punch it in there. That's so many points left on the board there. I mean, that's literally the difference in the game is those 3 turnover on downs there. And that's why we lost this game. And the 49ers end up winning Super Bowl 51, 24-21 over the Buffalo Bills. So Kaepernick, Harbaugh, and them get a Super Bowl. And now we have to look at re-signing players, and it looks like Russell Okung did not accept that earlier contract offer. Bump it up a little bit here. Hopefully bring him back. He's not showing up as not interested, so it looks like he will probably take that. And then I think we let everyone else walk. I mean, these guys, like, they're all guys that we signed, you know, the minimum deals. I think we have to let all these guys walk. And yeah, I don't think we'll be able to bring any of these guys back. But Okung and Hauschka do accept those, so we do get the 2 guys that we did want to re-sign back at least. All right, so here we are at the draft, and really my only thoughts going into this draft is corner and D-line depth. Let's see what we have available to us. We do have this first-round free safety, projected at the 14th overall pick, 82 production. Man and zone coverage isn't good. Tackle, hit power is high. Actually, like, some of these guys down here look better. I'm going to pass on him. Have these 2 defensive ends. Look like early second round guys. Ooh, A-power moves there. Good block shedding, good tackling. D-tackle. Any of these guys. Guy's a mid-second rounder. He looks pretty good. This guy looks better. Hit power, speed, agility, acceleration. Ooh, this guy looks good. Garrod Stark. Corners, which is really like our main thing that we need. A lot of them here that look pretty good. I think we're going to take the D-tackle here, Garrod Stark. He looks really, really good out in Nebraska. In fact, we might try to trade down. We get a second and a third here from the Cowboys. I think we might actually do that. We could take the Bears, get a second this year and a 4 and a 7 next year. I think we'll go with the Cowboys one, get a second and a third this year. What? Oh, we ran out of time. I forgot to pause it. No. We drafted a stupid receiver. Oh my gosh, if we lose Garrod Stark, I'm going to be so upset. I can't believe that. We lost him. We lost him. Oh my gosh. That's so annoying. I forgot to pause the draft. And it auto-drafted a wide receiver when we desperately need corners. All right, I think Clarence Berry looks like the best option at corner for us out of Maine. B man coverage, B zone. 23, 93 production grade, 21 years old, no, projected second round, 21st pick. He's 23. I do like him. We need corners. Then we're going to go Dayon Kenny out of Montana State, another good looking corner for us. And we have a high 4th round pick here. We must have gotten this in some sort of trade. I'm not sure where we got this, but we do have some D tackles here that I really like. We're going to start picking those up. Donovan Harmon out of Montana looks really, really good. We're going to pick him up. We're going to take Octavius Gilmore. He is falling from the 2nd round. Maybe he turns out to be somewhat decent. We got another pick here in the 4th. So we had 3 4th round picks here, which I'm perfectly okay with. We'll take Bake Barker here out of Lafayette, and then we'll sim the rest of the draft. All right, here's our rookie class. Here's this 23-year-old receiver out of A&M that the computer drafted for us, and he's a 71 overall. The corner we took in the 2nd round is a 66. The one in the 3rd is a 69. The D tackle in the 4th round is an 82. And the other D tackle is a 77. But the corners we took, 69, 66, 62, just do not look good overall. That's going to do it for Season 3. We fall short in a heartbreaker to the 49ers in the NFC Championship game. So we're still looking for that coveted third Super Bowl title. We do still have the majority of this core together. We bring back Russell Okung. We're just kind of trying to fill some of the holes, fill the depth, I guess, at some positions. But the core is all still here. So there's no reason we shouldn't expect to at least be competing for a Super Bowl again in season 4. But that's going to do it for this video, y'all. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave it a like and let me know down in the comments what you thought of it and where do you think we should go in the future with this Seahawks team. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. And for all your sports gaming news and updates, stay tuned to Sports Gamers Online. I'm Brandon Satterwhite with SGO. Thank you for watching. Hello there, sports gamers. Welcome back into the channel. I'm Brandon Satterwhite, and we're back with episode 4 of our Madden NFL What If Legion of Boom series. Last episode, episode 3, we came up just short of making an epic comeback against the Niners in the NFC Championship game. But we've still been doing great. All 3 episodes, we've done really well, made a deep playoff run. We've got 1 Super Bowl so far, looking for another. So hopefully we can get that in this video. Sorry for the long time it's taken me to get this 4th episode out. Been working on some stuff over on the main SGO channel, so make sure you go check out that over there. But we're back now with the 2017 season. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, make sure to leave it a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want more of these Madden NFL What If videos. But let's go ahead and take a look at the team going into season 4. So going into year 4, we still have Russell Wilson at the 99 overall, 12 Pryor as the backup quarterback, which doesn't really matter considering injuries are off. But anyways, Marshawn Lynch still here at a 95, and we've got these 2 running backs we drafted last year behind him. Wide receiver core looking a little bit sparse. We still have Percy Harvin, Bram Anderson, who's had a good couple of first few years. We did have to let Doug Baldwin walk in free agency, so we drafted Robin Dobbins out of Texas A&M as a rookie. So hopefully he can fill in as that number 3 wide receiver this year. Luke Wilson is still our starting tight end. Offensive line still looks really, really good. 85 plus across the board here. We still have Michael Bennett and Cliff Averill as our defensive ends. We have these 2 really good rookies that we drafted at defensive tackle, so really looking forward to seeing what they do. Linebackers still the same: Malcolm Smith, Bobby Wagner, KJ Wright, Bruce Irvin. And then the secondary, we have Richard Sherman. Then we brought in Xavier Rhodes and Darius Butler as the 2 and 3 corners there. So hopefully they can help fill in where we've lost some of our corners over the last couple of years. And then, of course, Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor there at safety. And looking here at guys that are on expiring deals, there's a lot of guys that we're probably going to have to try and re-sign after the season. Our starting tight end, Luke Wilson, Darius Butler, Pierre Lewis, David Stewart, Xavier Rhodes, Michael Bennett, Ben Grubbs, Cliff Averill, Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas, and Richard Sherman, all on the final year of their deals. We definitely want to keep this Legion of Boom together as much as possible, because that's basically the whole point of the series. But some of these other guys like Grubbs and Averill and Bennett, they're getting up there in years, so depending on how we're doing near the trade deadline, we may look to move some of these guys at the deadline for either some younger pieces or some draft picks possibly. But that's how the team looks going into season 4. Let's start simulating. All right, so we're in week 15. We haven't really had any big time matchups so far this year. We've had a pretty easy schedule. We're 11-2. We're going up against the Eagles this week, or 8-5. We'll simulate that game, but we have the Legion of Boom, all 99 overalls, and they do want contract extensions. So we are going to try and lock these guys up for a long time. We're going to give each of them an offer here. Now, this might come back to bite us in the end, but hopefully they accept. 4 years on Sherman. And thankfully, all 3 of them did accept. So Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor are locked up for 6 more years. That'll probably take them to the end of their careers. And then Richard Sherman's locked up for 4 more years here. All right, so here we are at the end of the regular season. It looks like we did get the 1 seed because we don't have a wild card game. Or we either got 1 or the 2 seed. I forget that back then during this time. 2 teams got a bye week instead of just 1 now. We also signed contract extensions with Michael Bennett for 4 years. He wanted a lot less than what Cliff Averill wanted, who we didn't negotiate with. And then we locked up Ben Grubbs for 2 years. So they are aging, but I felt that those deals were cheap enough that it wouldn't hurt us too badly. But let's go ahead and take a look at how things shaped up. We are the 1 seed. We ended up with the best record in the NFL at 14-2. In the AFC, the Jags and the Bengals are the top 2 seeds. And then in the NFC, us and the Packers are the top seeds. AFC North, the Bengals won it by 1 game over the Steelers. Jags ran away with the AFC South. Bills actually end up winning the AFC East. The Patriots finished 6-10, and this is back when Brady was still with them, so that's kind of surprising. Chargers win the AFC West, and then the Chiefs and the Broncos get the 2 wild card spots. In the NFC North, Packers win it. Lions get a wild card. Falcons win the South. Panthers get a wild card. And the 10-6 Bucks end up missing the playoffs. That's rough. The Eagles win the NFC East in a 3-way tie with the Cowboys and Washington there, and then we were able to kind of run away with the NFC West, and then the Cardinals, another 10-6 team, missing the playoffs. So a couple of 10-6 teams, and then even an 11-5 team not making the playoffs. That's kind of wild. Stats on the year: Russell Wilson, another 4,000-yard passing season, 25 touchdowns, still 15 interceptions. I think it might be our playbook or something, but I don't know why he throws so many interceptions every season. Marshawn Lynch, 356 carries on the year, 1,800 yards, 22 rushing touchdowns. Brady Harden, 115 carries, 382 yards, 14 rushing touchdowns. Russell Wilson, 57 carries, 169 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns on the year. Percy Harvin, another great year for him, 93 catches, over 1,000 yards, 12 touchdowns. Bram Anderson, with his first 1,000-yard season, also had 88 catches, 5 touchdowns. Robin Dobbins, the rookie, 71 catches, 853 yards, 3 touchdowns. Luke Wilson, 59 catches, 428 yards, 3 touchdowns. And then Marshawn Lynch had 2 receiving touchdowns out of the backfield. Bobby Wagner led us with 122 tackles on the year. And then Cliff Averill led us with 8 sacks. Bruce Irvin had 6. Michael Bennett had 3. And then Richard Sherman with 10 interceptions on the year. Wow. What a year for Sherman. Earl Thomas had 5. Xavier Rhodes had 5. Bobby Wagner had 4. Cam Chancellor had 3. Darius Butler had 2. We had 3 forced fumbles on the year. 1 from Earl Thomas, 1 from KJ Wright, 1 from Cavante Lattimore. And then we didn't have any defensive touchdowns on the year. And then in the kicking game, Hauschka missed only 1 extra point all year and then went 27 for 31 on field goals with a long of 48. Awards on the year: Colton Baca, I'm guessing quarterback for the Bengals, wins league MVP. Blake Bortles finishes 2nd. Rodgers 3rd. Manning is 5th. Marshawn Lynch finished 7th, and Russell Wilson finished 8th. And then we win Coach of the Year with Pete Carroll, so that's nice to see. Marshawn Lynch wins NFC Offensive Player of the Year. Luke Kuechly wins Defensive Player of the Year. Cartavius Bray wins Offensive Rookie of the Year, with Robin Dobbins finishes 4th. Kennedy Yamamoto wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. Neither of our D tackles finished in the top 10. That's a bit odd. Best quarterback goes to Matt Ryan. Running back goes to Marshawn Lynch. Wide receiver goes to Jarrett Boykin. Darian Tillman wins Best Offensive Lineman. Cam Jordan wins Best D Lineman. Richard Sherman wins at Best Defensive Back. All right, divisional round playoff game. We're going up against Cam Newton and the Panthers here at home. Let's see if we can get another playoff run going here. All right, here we go. Divisional round playoff game against the Panthers. We take the ball first and work right down the field. We're up 10-0 early here, up 17-0 now in the second quarter, 24-0. We're running away with this one. They do get on the board, but we answer right back, 31-7. It is a blowout here in the second half, 38-7. We are going to be moving on to our 3rd straight NFC Championship game with a 41-10 win over the Carolina Panthers. Stats on the game here: Russell Wilson, 28 for 33, 306 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Great game from him. Love to see it. Marshawn Lynch, 24 carries, 154 yards and a touchdown. Brady Harden, 13 carries, 49 yards and a touchdown. Percy Harvin, 9 catches, 81 yards and a touchdown. Robin Dobbins, the rookie, balling out in his first career playoff game, 7 catches, 113 yards and a touchdown. Bram Anderson, 6 catches, 79 yards and a touchdown. 2 sacks on Cam Newton from Cliff Averill and Michael Bennett, and then no interceptions and no forced fumbles on the day. And now we're back in the NFC Championship game, going up against the Detroit Lions, who I think when we went to the Super Bowl last time we played in the NFC Championship game, if I remember correctly, but they went 10-6 on the year, so let's see if we can beat them and go back to the Super Bowl this year. NFC Championship game at home against the Detroit Lions. We're up 7-0 early, and it looks like we're going to score again, 14-0 here in the second quarter. They get on the board. It's 7-14, now 21-7. Going back and forth, get a quick score there. Oh, and they're able to tie it up right at halftime. I think we had some turnovers there. 35-28, now 35-35. Now we're down, and it is 1st and 10. We're down 35-42. Let's hop in here in the fourth quarter. High-scoring game, and let's see if we can get ourselves back to the Super Bowl here. See if we can get someone open on these little drag routes here for a little catch and run, possibly. Oh, here we go. Wilson just going to take off and get the first. Goes out of bounds. That's a first down right there. Moving the sticks. Russell Wilson doing it with his feet. Got the blockers out in front of him and did what he needed to do. Oh, we're going deep. Percy Harvin going up for it, and he caught it! Touchdown, Seattle! What a catch, one-on-one. Percy Harvin going up and grabbing it for the score. Just a beautiful catch there, coming back to the ball and getting the feet in. What a play. Quick slant to Garner. Rhodes gives up the first down. Oh, there we go. Averill just a second too late as Stafford's able to get it away. Dang, they are killing us right now. Just cannot get any sort of pressure. Cannot cover like we need to. Moving the ball right on us. Oh, come on. There we go. Way to bring him down. Matt Forte, who went from the Bears to the Lions, kind of gets stuffed there. Oh, there we go. We bring him down. Stafford goes down. Bruce Irvin with his second sack of the day. Don't let anything past you. He's just going to dump it off to Forte. We're going to call time there, minute 56. We're going to get the ball back, and we're going to have a chance to go down the field and kick a game-winning field goal to win this game. We're going to kick this one out of bounds, and it's not a good punt. We're going to start at our own 32, so great field position to start this final drive. All right, Wilson in the gun, bunch formation here. Going to go to the air here to start this drive, and we're just going to run it. Wilson gets a nice block from Wilson, and he gets hit going out of bounds. That's going to be an extra 15 yards, baby. Let's go. Late hit out of bounds. Let's go. Detroit not happy with that call, but we'll take it. And just like that, we're only a few yards away from field goal range. Actually, we're going to do a little read option work here. Give it to Lynch. Let him get some yardage and start working this clock down. Two tight end set here. Wilson, another handoff to Lynch, and he's going to get about 5 yards. And there goes Detroit using the timeouts. A minute left in this game. We are well within field goal range at this point. Just trying to line this one up good for Hauschka to possibly send us back to the Super Bowl. Wilson, handoff to Lynch. Breaks a tackle. He's going to get a first down, and that's going to do it. We can just run this clock down all the way here. All right, here we go. 2 seconds left. Possible field goal to go to the Super Bowl. It's up, and it is good. Stephen Hauschka is sending us back to the Super Bowl. We are back, baby. We win a close one against the Lions. We come back and beat them late. Had a bit of a big lead earlier, but they made it a very high-scoring game, 45-42. We win it. We're going to have a chance for our 3rd Super Bowl in 5 years with this Seahawks team. Stats on the game, Russell Wilson, 20 for 26, 263 yards, 2 touchdowns. Did throw 2 picks. So that's probably what helped keep Detroit in it. Marshawn Lynch, another great game, 18 carries, 178 yards, 2 touchdowns on the day. Russell Wilson, 7 carries for 14 yards, but he did have a couple of big runs there late on that final drive that really helped us out. Bram Anderson, 4 catches for 40 yards and a touchdown. Marshawn Lynch, 4 catches for 70 yards out of the backfield. Robin Dobbins, 4 catches for 64 yards. Percy Harvin, 2 catches, 42 yards, including that big touchdown pass there on that final drive. Bruce Irvin had 2 sacks on the day. Darius Butler had our 1 interception of Matt Stafford. No forced fumbles. And then Hauschka was 1 for 1 on that 25-yard field goal that sent us back to the Super Bowl. And let's figure out who we're going to be playing. So here it is, Super Bowl against the Jags. So the number 1 seed in the NFC, number 1 seed in the AFC going at it, going up against Blake Bortles. So this ought to be an interesting one. All right, here we go. Super Bowl 52 in Miami against the Jags. We're going to take the opening possession. We get a field goal. Now another field goal. Haven't been able to punch it in. There we go. First touchdown of the game. And they answer back with one of their own. We get one right before half. So it's 20-7 at halftime. They come out. It's 2014 now. And they're going to score 20-21 now. We get 26, 33, 40. Oh my, a bunch of points here in the fourth quarter. And we just run away with it. And there you have it. Super Bowl champs for the third time in 5 years. It's officially a dynasty at this point. And I mean, the fact that we were able to keep so many of these guys together. Russell Wilson, Percy Harvin, Marshawn Lynch, Cliff Averill, Michael Bennett, Bobby Wagner, KJ Wright, Sherman, Thomas, Chancellor, so many. And then we brought in Xavier Rhodes. We brought in Darius Butler. We draft Bram Anderson. We bring in all of the guys on the offensive line that we did over the last couple of years. Just incredible. Russell Wilson gets some Super Bowl MVP. I mean, that's just awesome to see. We get our third Super Bowl, our second of the series. And yeah, it's a dynasty at this point. Stats on the game, your Super Bowl MVP, Russell Wilson, goes 29 for 39, 313 yards, 3 touchdowns, only 1 interception on the day. Marshawn Lynch, 21 carries, 105 yards, and a touchdown. Luke Wilson had 7 catches for 47 yards. Bram Anderson, 6 catches, 72 yards. Percy Harvin, 5 catches, 87 yards, 2 touchdowns. Robin Dobbins, 4 catches for 52 yards, and then Marshawn Lynch, 2 catches, 41 yards, and a touchdown. 2 sacks from Cliff Averill, and then 1 from the rookie Donovan Harmon in the game. 2 interceptions, 1 from Richard Sherman and 1 from Earl Thomas, and then 1 forced fumble by Earl Thomas, which we did not recover on the day. And then Hauschka went 3 for 3 on field goals in this one. So 43-21, we beat the Jags. And we're Super Bowl champions once again. All right, so like we said earlier, there's a lot of guys here that need to be re-signed. And it's going to be interesting to see who we're able to bring back. Because there is David Stewart here at 88 overall. Let's see what he wants. He is 36. But if we can get him on like a 1-year, $4 million deal, I wouldn't hate bringing him back at that price. And it looks like he's going to accept that. Let's see. I'd like to bring Xavier Rhodes back. It just depends on how expensive he's going to be. I think I can deal with that for my number 2 corner. And then maybe bring back Pierre Lewis. He's only 26. If we can give him like a 4-year, $3 million deal, yeah, I love that. All right, here we are, the 2018 NFL Draft. Let's go see who we have here on our board that we scouted. So the only first-round talent is this tight end, who does look pretty good if I remember correctly. 93 production grade. He's 23 years old. B speed. Decent acceleration. Catching's good. Good spectacular catch. He's 6'6". Jumping's good. His blocking isn't great. I'm curious if I could trade down a bit into the second round. Offers aren't really great. We do need a tight end because Luke Wilson left in free agency. So I'm just going to go ahead and draft this guy. Hopefully he turns out to be good. All right, we've got a few guys here. Projected second rounders. Alec Graves, a 6'4" receiver out of Southern Florida. And then Basman Randall, 6'3" out of Temple. Let's see how they look. Production grades aren't great on them. Catching goes to Randall. Route running's a C for both. Physicals look the same. I think we may actually go with Randall, but we do have this left tackle here. We could use some more depth on the offensive line. He doesn't look like amazing. I think we're going to go with Basman Randall, 6'3", 209 pounds, speed receiver out of Temple, and hope that he's good. Third round pick. Looks like mostly receivers here. Graves is still here, which is interesting. There's this defensive end. Let's go take a look at the defensive ends, because we do need some there as well. This could be a point where we maybe reach for one. We see one we really like. None of these guys really have great production grades. There's no one really I like here, so we may try and trade down again. The third round pick for next year. Get a fourth for next year. We'll just trade this for a third from the Ravens for next year. And we'll go with that. A bunch of these receivers are still here. Here's this left guard. We may go... Did all the defensive ends go already? So there's 7th rounders here. Let's take offensive line. Guy's run blocking looks good, and his strength is A. Ooh, this guy's run blocking's good with A strength. Ooh, this guy looks really good. A pass block, B run block, A strength. We're going to take him. At this point, we'll just simulate to the end of the draft and see how we did. All right, so here is our rookie class. We took 6 guys. Our top pick, the tight end, is a 74 overall, but our second round pick, the wide receiver, only a 61. The right tackle is a 68, the left end's a 68, and then we drafted a fullback and a tight end when we simulated. Not our best draft, but we filled one big hole at tight end, and since we really didn't sign anyone in free agency, we have a little bit of money to play with. Maybe we can sign some guys before the preseason. But that's going to do it for this video, y'all. We got another Super Bowl, 2nd for the series, 3rd in 5 years overall for this Seahawks team. So let me know down in the comments, what do you think? How are we mission accomplished with turning the Seahawks team into a dynasty, or do you want to see the series keep on going basically until the Legion of Boom all retire? Let me know down in the comments below what you think. Also, make sure if you enjoyed the video, leave it a like and subscribe so you don't miss out on the rest of this series. And for all your sports gaming news and updates, stay tuned to Sports Gamers Online. I'm Brandon Satterwhite with SGO. Thank you for watching. Hello there, sports gamers. Welcome back into the channel. I'm Brandon Satterwhite, and here we are with episode 5 of our Madden NFL What If Legion of Boom series. Last episode, we won another Super Bowl. It's our 3rd in a 5-year period, our 2nd in the series with the Seahawks team. And now we're trying to do what we haven't been able to do with the Seahawks, win back-to-back Super Bowls for the first time, be the first team since those Brady Patriots back in the early 2000s to win back-to-back Super Bowls. Let's take a look at the team and see what we're going to be dealing with here in episode 5. All right, looking at the team here, we still have Russell Wilson at the 99, Terrell Pryor's still the backup, which again, we don't need because injuries are turned off, of course. Marshawn Lynch still rocking at a 95 overall, Brady Harden backing him up. I did see Darren McFadden in free agency, so I went ahead and threw him on the team on a minimum deal. Arkansas legend, favorite college football player growing up, love him, so might as well have him on the team, get him a Super Bowl ring. Dan Armstrong, the rookie that we drafted, comes in at 73 overall at fullback. Wide receiver room looks pretty much the same. Percy Harvin, Bram Anderson, Robin Dobbins. We did bring in Raynard Smith, who we drafted in the later rounds, 68 overall rookie out of USF. He's 6'6", so I don't know if he'll get many targets this year, but if he does, hopefully he does good. Luke Wilson is still the starting tight end, though we do have Laveraus Mays, who we drafted in the first round. He's a 74 overall. Actually, I think I am going to go ahead and start him over Luke Wilson. Just because he is the rookie, he is the first round pick. I want to see how he does this year. So hopefully he does good there at tight end. Offensive line still looks the same, really hasn't regressed any, which I'm surprised to see, especially with like David Stewart. He's getting on up there in years and he's still an 88 overall, which I love to see. Michael Bennett, 87. We brought him back on a bit of a cheaper deal. We have Dominic Floyd, 80 overall, right end rookie that we drafted. Really excited to see how he does in his first year, replacing Cliff Averill. Donovan Harmon, Devin Baker still here. They were rookies last year, and they did really well as D tackles. So happy to see how they continue to play. And then we also have Demetrius Barr, who we drafted as well. So another good rookie there on the defensive line. And then the rest of the defense looks pretty much the same. Malcolm Smith, Bobby Wagner, KJ Wright, Bruce Irvin at linebacker, Richard Sherman. We brought back Xavier Rhodes after he had a really good year. We also signed a young, I think 26-year-old Justin Gilbert. He was sitting in free agency, signed him to a minimum deal. Earl Thomas sitting here at a 97. Cam Chancellor still a 99. And then Stephen Hauschka will be doing our kicking and punting for us this year. So that's how the team looks going into Season 5. Let's get simulating. All right, so we are in Week 14. We are 12-0 on the season. We're going to Lambeau for a Sunday night game against Green Bay. They're 10-2. We are having a heck of a season. Marshawn Lynch is leading the league in rushing. Bobby Wagner leads the league in interceptions. Jordy Nelson leads the league in receiving. I'm assuming he's still with the Packers, but this is a big-time game. We need to win this. Let's go ahead and see if we can stay undefeated. So here we are at the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field, trying to remain undefeated. We get a field goal on the first possession. Now we get another touchdown and another, so we're up 17-0 at the end of the first quarter already. Now 24-0. We are blowing these guys out, but don't want to say anything yet. We could give up a lead, but it doesn't look like we're going to. absolutely dominating the Packers here in Lambeau. And we're going to end up winning this one 37-10. Big time win for us as we move to 13-0. Only 3 more games left for a perfect regular season. Stats on the game for this one: Russell Wilson 31 for 42, 344 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no picks. Love to see that. Marshawn Lynch 21 carries, 90 yards, 2 touchdowns on the day. And the tight end, Lavaris Mays, showing out. The rookie having a career day, 10 catches, 84 yards, and a touchdown. Robin Dobbins, 6 catches, 67 yards. Bram Anderson, 5 catches for 78 yards. Marshawn Lynch, 4 catches for 58 yards and a touchdown out of the backfield. Earl Thomas led us with 12 tackles on the day. No sacks on Aaron Rodgers, but Earl Thomas also got 2 interceptions on the day. What a game for this guy here today. And then Hauschka was 3 for 3 on field goals with a long of 38. And here we are the very next week in Week 15. We have a matchup at home against the 10-3 Arizona Cardinals. They are currently sitting at second in our division. We win this, we wrap up the division, and we keep the dream of the perfect season alive. All right, big game here in Seattle against our division rival, the Cardinals. We get on the board first here with a touchdown. Now we're up 10-0. By the way, I did see the Cardinals now have Bridgewater playing as quarterback for them. 17-0, now 17-7 as they get a score right before halftime and get a field goal right after halftime, so it goes from a 3-score lead to a 1-score lead, but we get another touchdown. It's 24-17 now, 31-17, 38-17, so some big late-time score for us, help us secure the win. 14-0, 2 more games. Stats on this one: 18 for 32 for Russell Wilson, 326 yards, 2 touchdowns. Did have an interception, though. Marshawn Lynch, 17 carries, 142 yards, 3 touchdowns on the day. Wow. Bram Anderson, 5 catches for 69 yards. Robin Dobbins, 4 catches for 65 yards. Marshawn Lynch, 3 catches, 105 yards, and a touchdown out of the backfield. Percy Harvin, 2 catches, 39 yards, and a touchdown. Richard Sherman led us with 8 tackles on the day. We had 1 sack on Teddy Bridgewater, and Bobby Wagner got himself another interception. He had like 8 mid-season and was leading the league in interceptions, so that's just another one. That lead's going to keep on growing. So now we're in Week 16. We have a game against the Niners. I think at this point we hop into the rest of our regular season games just to make sure we get the perfect season. I really want to go for that. But we have 99 offense and defense so far here, and we've got some guys that need some extensions, starting with Marshawn Lynch, who is currently working his way up some of the big rushing record lists at the moment. Man, he wants a lot of money, but I'm willing to give it to him just because, you know, he's one of the faces of this team. You know, he's a guy that's been here for so long. Now, Percy Harvin, on the other hand, this is a guy we may look to move on from. I mean, he's wanting 6 years, 75 mil. I'm willing to do like 5 years, 32. I know he's a 90 overall, but we have some good receivers behind him, I feel. Then Darion Tillman, I mean, he's actually still pretty young, so I'd be willing to give him a good chunk of money to keep that offensive line good. We'll find out next week how those went, but now it's time to hop into a game against our division rival, the 49ers, and make sure they don't spoil our perfect season. All right, big game here against our division rival in Santa Clara. We're going to take the opening drive. We got a field goal out of it. And then we're going to get a touchdown. We're up 10-0, now 17-0. They get a field goal, another one, and there's a touchdown there. So they've really come back. We get a touchdown right before half. That's good for us. They're keeping this a close game. They're not going to let us win easily here. We're up 10 here late. Now it's up 3, up 10. That's going to be enough to do it. We're going to win against the 49ers. They come back. It wasn't as close late as it looks from the final score, but we end up winning it 41-35, 15-0. 1 game away from a perfect regular season. Stats on the game for this one: Russell Wilson, 28 for 37, 264 yards, 1 touchdown, but he did have 2 interceptions, though, so bit of a rough game for him. Marshawn Lynch, though, picked up the slack, 19 carries, 95 yards, 3 touchdowns on the day. Percy Harvin, 6 catches, 60 yards, and the 1 touchdown. Bram Anderson, 6 catches for 85 yards, and then the rookie Lavaris Mays, 5 catches for 59 yards. Earl Thomas led us with 9 tackles on the day. We didn't have any sacks on Colin Kaepernick, but we did have 2 interceptions, one from Bruce Irvin, one from Cam Chancellor, and no forced fumbles on the day. And then Hauschka was 2 for 2 on field goals with a long of 49. All right, so this is it, the final game to wrap up the regular season to try and go 16-0. We have the 5-10 San Diego Chargers coming to Seattle, so this should be an easy game for us. Percy Harvin did accept his contract, as did Darian Tillman, but Marshawn wants more, and I'm not sure how much more we'll be able to give him. We'll bump it up to about 13 mil with 4 million as a signing bonus. This will probably take him through the rest of his career, I would figure. So hopefully he accepts that, and then the center wants a new contract as well. He's only 24. This is his first big payday. We're going to give him a deal. I want to keep that offensive line together because that's when we really started to have success, when we built a really good offensive line for Russell Wilson and Marshawn Lynch. But let's hop into this game against the Chargers and see if we can secure the perfect regular season. All right, here we go. We have the Chargers at home. I did see that they have Sam Bradford as their starting quarterback now, so I guess Rivers moved on. But let's see what we do with this opening possession. We go down, we get ourselves a touchdown. Let's keep going. Let's blow them out here. Now they score. Ooh, do not like that at all. 14-7, now 21-7 here right before half. They get themselves a touchdown. Now we score 28-14. Don't like how much they're scoring on us here. But it looks like we are going to pull this off. We're going to go, and there it is. 28-17, we win it. And the Seattle Seahawks have secured the first perfect regular season since the New England Patriots did it back in the day with Brady and Randy Moss and all of them. But now the question is, can we remain perfect throughout the playoffs and secure that 19-0 season that no one's been able to do, as well as our second straight Super Bowl championship? Stats on the game: Russell Wilson, 25 for 33, 254 yards, 1 touchdown. Again, 2 interceptions. Don't like to see that from him. Rushing the ball today, Marshawn Lynch had 19 carries, 119 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Percy Harvin, 11 catches, 163 yards, and a touchdown. Bram Anderson, 6 catches for 52 yards. Robin Dobbins, 2 catches for 23 yards. Earl Thomas led us again with 10 tackles on the day. We had 1 sack from Michael Bennett, 3 interceptions, 1 for Cam Chancellor, 1 for Earl Thomas, and 1 for Bobby Wagner. That's big time for us. Love to see us getting those turnovers. All right, so we have the bye week here during the wildcard round, but Marshawn Lynch and Jokel both accepted their contracts, so they're going to stay here for this foreseeable future. All right, here we go. Divisional round, and again, we're facing our divisional opponent, the Cardinals. We beat them earlier this year. Can we beat them for the 3rd time this season? It's hard to beat a team 3 times in a season, they say. So let's see. We've got the game at home. All right, divisional playoff game at home. We're going to get the opening kickoff and score a touchdown. We're up 7-0, now 14-0, 17-0, 24-0. A huge lead for us here. They do score 10 points, now 17 points in a row, but we're going to get another touchdown there before halftime. It's 31-17, now 38-17. We're back up by 21. Oh, man, this has been a back-and-forth game, but it looks like we're going to pull away here at the end. 44-17, now 44-20. We're going to win it. We're moving back to the NFC Championship game for the 4th year in a row. Let's freaking go. Russell Wilson in this one, 30 for 42, 262 yards, 4 touchdowns with 1 interception. Awesome game from him there. Marshawn Lynch, 18 carries, 160 yards, and a touchdown. Bram Anderson, 9 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown. Percy Harvin, 6 catches, 58 yards and a touchdown. Lavaris Mays, 5 catches, 32 yards and a touchdown. Marshawn Lynch, 2 catches, 22 yards, and a touchdown out of the backfield. Cam Chancellor and Bobby Wagner led us with 7 tackles, 1 sack from second-year player Devin Barker, and 2 interceptions, 1 for Bobby Wagner, 1 for Richard Sherman on the day. Also, I forgot to look at the season stats for this year. Russell Wilson had over 4,000 yards passing, 30 touchdowns, only 11 picks, so he had a really good year. Marshawn Lynch, over 300 carries again, 1,900 rushing yards, 29 rushing touchdowns. That's a new record. I'm pretty sure that's the NFL record. Brady Harden, 150 carries, 647 yards, 10 touchdowns. Russell Wilson, no rushing touchdowns on the year. Darren McFadden had 12 carries for 46 yards and a touchdown. Percy Harvin was our leading receiver, 91 catches, 1,100 yards, and 10 touchdowns. Bram Anderson, 85 catches, 1,000 yards, but only 2 touchdowns. That's a bit odd. Robin Dobbins, 71 catches, 735 yards, 7 touchdowns. Lavaris May, 65 catches, 506 yards, 2 touchdowns on the year. Bobby Wagner led us with 118 tackles on the year. He also had 10 interceptions. Earl Thomas had 6. Cam Chancellor had 6. Xavier Rhodes had 2. Richard Sherman, only 1 interception on the year. That's a bit odd to see. Did we have any forced fumbles? We had 2 for Justin Gilbert, one for Cam Chancellor and one for Donovan Harmon. Did we have any defensive touchdowns? We had one from Bruce Irvin. And then Hauschka on the year was perfect from extra points, 30 for 34 on field goals with a long of 49. Andre Hagan of the Cowboys led the league in passing 5,300 yards. That might be a new NFL record. I forget what the record is at this time. He also led the league with 44 passing touchdowns on the year, so a great year for him. He's probably going to be the MVP. Rushing on the year, Marshawn Lynch led the league in rushing yet again, and also led the league by a wide margin for rushing touchdowns. Jordy Nelson led the league in catches. Des Bryant led the league in receiving yards. And then Calvin Johnson with 17 receiving touchdowns. Bobby Wagner led the league with the 10 interceptions. And then who led the league in sacks? Von Miller with 11. The sack numbers in this game were a lot lower than they are nowadays. But yeah, Andre Hagan does end up winning MVP over Marshawn Lynch. I really would have loved to see him with the 16-0 season also get an MVP, but we do win Coach of the Year again with Pete Carroll. Marshawn Lynch wins NFC Offensive Player of the Year. Sean Lee gets Defensive Player of the Year. Bobby Wagner, that's a bit odd. Soma Hendricks of the Saints wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. Laverace Mays, our tight end, finishes 4th. Devontae Roberts wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. Hagan wins Best Quarterback. Lynch gets Best Running Back. Calvin Johnson got Best Wide Receiver. Best O-lineman goes to Darion Tillman. Best D-lineman goes to Carlos Dunlap. Best DB goes to Earl Thomas. And best kicker goes to Stephen Hauschka. So we had a lot of guys get awards this year, but we still haven't gotten an MVP yet. I'd like to see us get an MVP for once. But enough talk about individual rewards because we are focused on the perfect season. We are in the NFC Championship again. We have the Packers who we played earlier in the season, but now they're coming here to Seattle, and we're going to have to beat them again and try to move on to another Super Bowl. All right, here we go. NFC Championship game at home against Green Bay. We get our first drive, and we score a touchdown immediately. They answer with one of their own. This is going to be a hard-fought game. We get ourselves a touchdown, actually just a field goal. They get a touchdown before halftime. And now they're going to get another one. It's 21-10. Now we score a touchdown. It's 18. Now we're up 25-21. Another touchdown, 32-21. That should be enough. That's going to do it. 35-21. We're done. We won. We're going back to the Super Bowl. We're one game away from a perfect season. Stats on this one. Russell Wilson throwing a lot here in the playoffs. 34 for 45, 310 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And then Marshawn Lynch, 18 carries, 99 yards, 2 touchdowns. Brady Harden, 7 carries, 23 yards, and a touchdown. Bram Anderson, a great game, 9 catches, 105 yards, and a touchdown. Robin Dobbins as well, 9 catches, 95 yards. Percy Harvin, 6 catches for 70 yards on the day. Cam Chancellor and Richard Sherman each had 7 tackles to lead us. No sacks on the day, but 2 interceptions for Richard Sherman against Aaron Rodgers. That's awesome to see. And now we're one game away from making history. Here we are at the Super Bowl out in Arizona. Win this. We complete the first perfect season since the Miami Dolphins in 1972. We have the Cincinnati Bengals on the other side. They went 12-4 this year. They're a really good team. This isn't going to be an easy one, but let's do this thing. Here we go. Super Bowl 53 in Arizona, and we score first with a touchdown. They answer right back with one of their own. We get ourselves a field goal. We're up 10-7. Now it's going to be 17-7. Will we get another one before half? We do. 24-7, big lead here in the Super Bowl. 27-7. Is it going to be enough? I think it is. 34-7. 41-7, 48-7, 51. We drop a 50 burger in the Super Bowl, and we have a chance now. We're going to hop in and knee this one down, the final knee down to secure a perfect season. Russell Wilson with the knee. He will get his 4th Super Bowl of his career. The 4th in a 6-year period. 2nd straight. And the Seattle Seahawks secure their place in NFL history. They are 19-0. A perfect season. Something that only the 72 Dolphins have done before. 19-0, something nobody has ever done before. The dynasty continues. The legend grows. The glory remains. And Cam Chancellor this time winning Super Bowl MVP. There we are once again for the second year in a row, raising another Lombardi trophy. And very well could say this is the greatest dynasty in NFL history at this point, because remember, the Patriots don't win all those other Super Bowls in this universe. So you could make it 4 in 6 years. I don't think even the Patriots did that. So there's an argument to be made there. Stats on the game: Russell Wilson, 37 for 46, 304 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no picks. Surprised to see he doesn't get Super Bowl MVP with those stats. Marshawn Lynch, 21 carries, 95 yards, 2 touchdowns on the day. Percy Harvin, 17 catches, 182 yards, 3 touchdowns. He could have gotten MVP very easily. Laverace Mays, 5 catches, 28 yards, and a touchdown. Bruce Irvin led us with 8 tackles. No sacks on the day, but 3 interceptions by Cam Chancellor and 2 from Xavier Rhodes. Were any of them returned for touchdowns? They weren't, but 3 interceptions for Cam Chancellor. Okay, I see why he won Super Bowl MVP, but wow, the Bengals quarterback threw 5 picks in this game. Wow. And we drop 50 on them here. So with all the success we've had, I want to check out the legacy leaderboard and see where we're at now. We're now up here second behind only Vince Lombardi, but we have more Super Bowls than he has, more than Joe Gibbs, more than Tom Landry, more than Bill Walsh, more than John Madden. So we're right up there with the best head coaches of all time. And now let's see, we are behind only Joe Montana, Vince Lombardi, Peyton Manning, Jerry Rice, and Tom Brady in terms of legacy score. In terms of quarterback, you've got Brady, Manning, Montana. Let's see, is Wilson getting up here? Because, I mean, with 4 Super Bowls. That's weird. It only counts him as having 2 Super Bowls. I guess this isn't counting correctly because he's won the Super Bowl with us every year. I don't know why it's only counting him as having 2. That's odd. Marshawn Lynch now as the 3rd best running back behind only Adrian Peterson and Barry Sanders. Richard Sherman's getting up here. He's behind Rivas, Bailey, Night Train Lane, and Deion Sanders. Earl Thomas is getting up here in terms of legacy. Cam Chancellor's getting up here in legacy. For some reason, all the players, it only counts as having 2 Super Bowls, even though my coach, Pete Carroll, has 4. That's a bit odd. I don't know what's going on with that. Some sort of glitch or something. Surely they would be all higher if they all had 4 Super Bowls. I also want to check out the NFL records at this point. Peyton Manning has the most passing yards in a career. Russell Wilson's nowhere on this. He also has the most passing touchdowns in a career. Rushing yards, Adrian Peterson has passed Emmitt Smith to now have the all-time leading rushing record. And Marshawn Lynch has passed Barry Sanders. He's 4th. Another season and he would pass Walter. And maybe if Peterson retires, Lynch would have a shot at catching him. Most rushing touchdowns, Marshawn Lynch is only 4 behind Emmett. So another season and Marshawn would have the career rushing touchdowns record. And receiving yards, I don't think any of our guys would be up there or any of the receiving ones. No for sacks. No one's up here for interceptions either. I think this last season, Marshawn, he had 1950, so that was up there as one of the best. Didn't quite hit that 2,000 mark yet, but he did break LaDainian Tomlinson's record with 29 rushing touchdowns. And then Hagan this year also was just a little bit behind Manning and Breeze's best years in terms of passing yards, and then no one's really come close on the passing touchdowns mark yet. Jordy Nelson came up just 10 short of tying Marvin Harrison's best for passing or catches in a season. But that's going to do it for this episode, y'all. And honestly, that might just be where we leave it. I mean, how do you top a perfect season? I think we completed what we wanted to do, see what would happen if the Legion of Boom were able to stay together, and if there wasn't that friction within the locker room after losing that Super Bowl to the Patriots. What would it have looked like? What was the true potential of this team? So I think we've completed that, and now maybe move on to some other games and maybe start seeing what we want to do for Season 2 of this. But let me know in the comments if there's overwhelming support. I'll keep it going. But if not, I'll probably move on to some other games and start seeing what I want to do for season 2 of Madden NFL What If. So if you have ideas for that as well that you want to pitch, throw those in the comments as well, and I'll figure out what I want to do for that. But for now, that's going to do it for this one. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.